hours in the building here at the Temple of Justice, even after the proceeding in the courtroom, and he was later being released. He left the grounds of the Temple of Justice in a very jubilant mood on Tuesday. Upon his arrival, he has said that he did nothing wrong. What he did was just in line with what his job is, to make sure that he flags corruption and some illegal happenings in society. He says he said he was going to walk out of this place a free. That was exactly what happened. And following that, we saw that everything was being pushed to today. So just to move on to where we are today now, Prophet Key has arrived here on the grounds of the Temple of Justice. Just before we started our live broadcast, Prophet Key made his way here on the grounds of the Temple of Justice. The actual arrival time here it was set at 3 p.m. But Prophet Key arrived here before 2:30 p.m., far above the arrival time. That was somewhere around 2 p.m. when Prophet Key arrived here. Now he's upstairs. He's awaiting the official proceeding in the courtroom. He came about an hour ahead of the actual activities expected to be taking place in the courtroom. So this is where we are, and we're going to remain here posted, bringing you up to speed with all of the happenings here on the grounds of the Temple of Justice this afternoon. But just before we move on to talk to some Liberians here to get the views of other Liberian citizens who have gathered here, I want us to begin this conversation with our judicial correspondent, Melvin Jackson. Let's get Melvin Jackson to come on so we start this conversation. Melvin, good afternoon again. It's good that we're here.
Yeah, thank you, Nessie. Let me say thank you to all and the many followers.
Yeah, Melvin, the last time we were here having conversation around this very issue was about 2 days ago. That was on Tuesday. Prophet Key was slated to arrive here today, and we understand he has already arrived about an hour ahead of the actual arrival time stated in the citation.
Exactly. So minutes ago, or hours ago, he came in along with family, and you already know his lawyers. They are stationed here because they are public defenders. Yeah. So he moved straight to their office, okay, and to have some word with them. So any moment from now, we will move straight to the Supreme Court and wherein this trial will begin. And now it is no longer a thing of I don't have a lawyer. Now
so today he has a lawyer, and there's absolutely no excuse about not having a lawyer. Exactly. But what are you gathering so far? Or what have you gathered so far, Melvin? Where exactly is Prophet Key at the moment?
So, like I said, when he came, he actually went to his lawyer at the wing of the building here, okay, and then he has some talk with them. Okay. So by some minutes after 2, they will usher him into the court where the child.
So he's now with the public defenders, or he's in the public defender's office.
He's with the public defenders, and because they are lawyers now, so he has to be around them, I'll talk with them, and they okay come up with final conclusions as to what are we carrying before,
So at the moment, it's more like briefing his legal representatives, giving them his own side, the full detail of everything, why he thinks he shouldn't be held in contempt, and the information he's going to be providing now will be used to make the case, to make the argument for Prophet Key, to say to the Chief Justice, for example, as to why Prophet Key shouldn't be held in contempt.
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? On Tuesday when we came here, he met his lawyer, and they had their case still being built. But who knows whether when he left on Tuesday, Wednesday, something else play him. So maybe he has a new development that he wants to give to them. Maybe his mind has changed, or he got something new that he wants to bring to the table. So maybe they're going to change their entire case story to see how it's going to be like. Others are other legal opponents are saying that he should apologize, but probably maybe that was why they discussed in the corner. But who knows whether when they go at the court they will put a defense our clients now are guilty, and what our client did is you know, it is by law, and as he always saying, words are meant to be used. So
And I took few lines from his wife or his spouse who came with him when she said, "My husband didn't do nothing. You know, the man do nothing. You know, the male walk out free." And indeed, we had Prophet Key walking out free on Tuesday.
yeah.
But Melvin, considering the time now, we're talking about 15 minutes to the actual proceeding in the courtroom. We'll have to let you go, but just before we do that, Melvin, what do you foresee? What have you been hearing in the corridors of the judiciary so far?
So, Nancy, the thing is, many times when cases are before the court, it is not that 100%, you know, or okay to, you know, discuss it as a legal pro, we call it, you know, it being pre-judiciaries. But tomorrow, the Supreme Court will be closing for its October term on tomorrow. So we will have to know and see what next, you know, will be done after both lawyers finish, you know, bringing forth the argument. Because if they could reserve ruling in this matter, then that is they will have to resume for their March term, which will be
Wait, Melvin. What I'm getting from you is that the court closes for the October term tomorrow.
tomorrow.
So,
Yeah. My information.
Okay, so what that means is that following today's decision. Okay, so let's put it this way: in a case where maybe Prophet Key is taken to jail today, what happens then? Does that mean that the court is not going to come back to maybe look into this matter? What happens then? Well, I mean, are we going to have him being stuck behind bars until the court resumes the next term of court, or what?
Yeah, so the thing about arrests, you know, detentions, order can be given by, you know, at any time while the court is on recess. We mean that the justices, you know, the offices will be closed as well. No, there was, you know, so administrative functions, so, you know, or chamber sessions, you know, going to be held. So if we don't want to end up putting a way that we are predicting that he will go to jail, but if he will go to jail, release can come from another for the bench at any time. On now waiting for the March term of, you know, court opening. But
Okay, so there could be some intervention even ahead of the March term of court.
exactly. But our information is the Supreme Court expected to I got one down the curtain on tomorrow. Today they have a whole lot of more cases that was ruling today.
Rulings
Yes.
from about 27 cases.
Yes.
Is that what happens here usually, where you have sometimes 27 rulings in a single day?
Yeah, so since the UO bench, from my own observation, the Supreme Court have, you know, mustered that courage and they have pushed themselves to the understand that they, you know, come up with huge, like sometimes it's 36, sometimes 30. Yes, from the UO bench, now you got the basic bench. They all push themselves to that number. Not like before, where, you know, in a whole year you have 11 cases being ruled. No. Today, like I'm telling you, I was up there in a room close to 20 some more no cases today.
Could you just maybe name like 5 of those cases?
So the rule in the Summer 2 case, Summer 2 and others, that the case are informed is the Financial Intelligence Unit and the Security Council.
What was the ruling?
Yeah, so before the court ruled, it said that 2 and others could not be granted immediately. So after the court ruled, that was
Presidential immunity.
Yeah, presidential immunity. That was last year during the October term. So 12 lawyers filed for the re-argument. They say we noticed there were some missteps along the way. Probably there were some mistakes carried out. So we need a re-argument from you. So the court went did a re-argument where lawyers came again and they re-argued the matter. And then the court ruled today deny that motion for re-argument that was filed by the 2 lawyers. And then the court reaffirmed or dissembled, you know, or ruling and said we stand by it.
They upheld the previous ruling.
Yeah. So they stand by the first ruling as was given last year of December.
All right.
And then you have a case from the Adifas, you have case from the Hash, family. You have several other cases that.
All right, so Melvin, we're gonna at some point get more details from you surrounding those cases. But the time now is about 10 minutes to 3 p.m. So that means that you have to now be in the courtroom, see there ahead of that time, so we get live updates from the courtroom here for our audience as the activity here goes on. But again, I want to say thank you. Thanks a lot for filling us in, Melvin.
Thank you, Nelson.
All right. So, folks, we're still here live at the grounds of the Temple of Justice in Monrovia, Central Monrovia, adjacent the Capitol building, the seat of the first branch of government, and just opposite the executive mansion. That's exactly where we are. That's where you have the Temple of Justice. It's not as busy or jam as we had here on Tuesday. The atmosphere here is pretty much calm today. Not much of attention, but what is happening now is that there are still so many eyes watching eagerly to see what happens here today, especially at Justin Obayenzi is expected to engage here today, engage with the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia. So we are going to remain posted, but let's give you an idea of what's happening here. I see a very good security presence here this afternoon, like you see right before us here. You have officers of the Liberian National Police posted there. Comparing what we have here now to what we saw on Tuesday, there's a little more. It's a bit different here. Not too many officers deployed here at the entrance of the Temple of Justice, like what we saw on Tuesday. So yes, at the back there you have a lot of sheriffs as well. I mean, just one or two sheriffs at the far end there. Yeah, so it's not tense as Tuesday. You know, it's pretty much calm here. Prophet Key or Justin Opa Yezian was able to make it here in time. He got here about an hour to the actual 3 p.m. timeline stated in the invitation from the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia. And so we remain posted and providing you all of the updates here every step of the way, live at the grounds of the Temple of Justice here in Central Monrovia. Well, in the midst of everything happening here, we did see a media appearance earlier today by the elders of Nimba County, the Zoes, the people who have huge influence in the county. The elders of Nimba made a media appearance this morning where they made several disclosures. They said, for example, that they are not in support of Prophet Key or Justin Opa Yezian insulting or raining invectives on permanent citizens of the country. And they condemned his action, and they said they are going to handle him traditionally as well. Those were some of the things they said this morning when they had their own media engagement. They said they are going to handle him traditionally. Again, Nimba County being a highly traditional county, there are just lots of concerns now, especially at this point when you have the traditional leaders in the county coming up to say that they are going to handle Justin Opa Yezian traditionally. Now the concerns and some of the issues that Liberians have been raising is that they hope and they just hope that there will be no traditional interference in the legal process here. And there were some who speculated that Prophet Key would not have appeared here today, given the statements or the comments made by the officials of the traditional council in the county, the chiefs and elders of Nimba County. But contrary to that speculation, Prophet Key has appeared here today. He came even earlier. There isn't any sign of traditional interference as of yet. So we're looking forward to seeing now what happens as to whether Prophet Key or Justin is going to spend his first night behind bars, or if he's going to walk out of this place a free man today, that's going to be determined by the activities from the courtroom. That's going to be taken up just a couple of minutes from now. It's going to be based on that we will know. But as of yet, Prophet Key is a free man. He's walking out. Our judicial correspondent just told us that Prophet Key is right now engaging with his legal representatives, the public defendant. He's making the case to them. He's telling them exactly what his side of the story is. He's helping them build the argument for him that if they went in the main chambers or if they went in the courtroom and they want to make the argument for Prophet Key, for Justin, they want to say why that their client shouldn't be held in contempt so that they get to make a great argument. So he's making the case, he's presenting the arguments to them at the moment. He's saying to them why he, Prophet Key, thinks he shouldn't be held in contempt. He's saying to them why he, Prophet Key, thinks that his actions were just in the confines of the law and there was absolutely no legal violation. There was no violation of anyone's constitutional rights. He has consistently said that words are meant to be used, and what he has done over the time is to use those words that are meant to be used and to clamp down on the ills in society. There are a lot of people in the country who have admired him and who have appreciated his advocacy over the years, but have come to default or to disagree with him when it comes to his choice of words, the kinds of words he used and the way he uses them. There are a lot of people over the time who have hailed Prophet Key for his bravery, his stance on national issues, his clamp down on malpractice in the country. And corruption, let's say officials who are perceived to be corrupt, his stance, his positions, and how brave he's been over the years, consistently advocating against some of those individuals whom he perceived to be corrupt. But on the other end, they have also disagree with the fact that he has used inventors over the years with choices of words that they get to use in the process of carrying on their different advocacies. So this is the situation here, and of course we are posted to bring you all of the updates every step of the way right here grounds of the Temple of Justice. So thanks for watching. This is Spoon TV. I'm Nelson Collier, and we have Ernest Benda on the camera as well. Our judicial correspondent, Melvin Jackson, posted in the courtroom to give us live updates every step of the way as we all closely follow the legal proceedings here on the grounds of the Temple of Justice. Last Tuesday, or let's say on Tuesday, we had an interaction, more like a debate. There were views being expressed by some of the folks here. And going back to that interaction, one time judicial correspondent here at the court, Lawrence Chie, came in to express his views, giving his own experience here at the court. According to Chie, he thinks that the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia is abusing his power as Chief Justice of the country. Chie argued that the contempt being stated in the communication or the citation addressed to Justin Opa Yezian is something that has to do with the obstruction of the function of the court. And Justin argued that at the moment, Prophet Key or Justin has not done anything that has obstructed the functions, the very functions of the court. And so he argued that the Supreme Court has a lot of issues that they could just be addressing rather than inviting Prophet Key, raising contempt issues against Prophet Key. He thought that he argued that this has absolutely no connection with contempt, and he argued that the full bench of the Supreme Court should not reduce itself to trying to summon Prophet Key, for example, to answer or raising contempt issues against Prophet Key. He said it's a civil matter, and if the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia has issues with invectives, quote unquote, that was being used against him or his mother by Justin, he should rather take it to the civil law court. It's a civil issue rather than raising contempt and possible contempt issues against Justin Opah-Yazin. But on the flip side, our judicial correspondent Melvin Jackson argued that the court at the moment has not officially raised contempt issues against Justin. Melvin's argument was that the court at the moment is providing due process. Even before getting to the contempt stage of this entire thing, the court is providing due process for Justin Opah-Yazin to be able to make the case. That's why it's more of an invitation to say why he shouldn't be held in contempt. And so Melvin argued that this is absolutely no abuse of power. It has got no connection with someone abusing power or the Chief Justice abusing his office as Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia to clamp down on free speech. Melvin's argument last Tuesday was that it is a fair thing, and it is a very good thing to do, especially when Prophet Key will be invited to make the case here on the grounds of the Temple of Justice. And he argued that if Prophet Key fails to make the case, to convince the court beyond all reasonable doubts, then that will set the stage for contempt charges against Justin Opah-Yazin. So Melvin's argument was that the court hasn't charged Prophet Key on contempt issues yet. But then Lawrence came back to argue that, in fact, the fact that the court mentioned contempt in the communication raises concern as well. It means that the High Court of the land is eyeing possible contempt charges for Justin, which he thinks is just out of order. So that was the argument with some of the judicial correspondents here, some of the folks who have been covering this judiciary for so many years. Those were the arguments. But then we also managed to have spoken with the current president of the Judicial Reporters, the Judicial Reporters Association, Natasha Yassa Wright. And her argument on this entire thing was that the court, the full bench of the Supreme Court, all by itself is being unfair in this entire thing. According to the president of the Judicial Reporters Association, the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia should rather be thinking of recusing himself from this entire proceeding, because the Supreme Court cannot be the complainant and be the judge at the same time. She says the current decision by the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia to preside over this case, while he's also a complainant in this entire thing or a party to this particular case, is just out of order. And so the president of the Judicial Association says that the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia is proceeding wrongly. So there has been different arguments, different views expressed here every step of the way as we move on with this particular case. So it's a landmark case, and it's going to determine what happens to Liberia in the next 6 months, in the next 4 months, in the next 5 months, as to whether we're going to have so many people taking onto the social media using invectives as a means of pushing advocacies, or as to whether we're going to have a decline in that. This case is going to just determine that situation. So this is where we are. Again, I want to say thanks for joining us, and thanks for joining us. We are still here live at the grounds of the Temple of Justice. So you have security presence, officers of the Liberian National Police posted here. We want to take you around the courtyard a bit to show you exactly what is happening here, what the atmosphere is like this afternoon, with the time at 3 p.m., 4 minutes past 3 p.m. This is Spoon TV, and we are coming to you live from the grounds of the Temple of Justice. This is where legal issues are being discussed, legal decisions are being made. This is where the law, the constitution of the Republic of Liberia get to be interpreted. Who's right? Who's wrong? What does the law say? This is where the cases get to be settled. And as it stands, Prophet P, who just be making his way to the courtroom to start this particular case. Once we get signal from our judicial correspondent, who's currently in the courtroom, we're going to start filling in with information coming from the courtroom. Live updates we will start to give you from the courtroom. In the meantime, our judicial correspondent has already made his way in the courtroom, and we are expected to start getting updates from there any moment from. So thanks for joining us again. Spoon TV, we are coming to you live from the grounds of the Temple of Justice. Most times, people get to accompany the the parties they're in solidarity with. So as you see at the far end there, you see a very good number of Liberians seated there. Some of them have come here to express some sort of support for those they think deserve their support. And that's exactly what the situation is. So we want to move closer to give you an idea of what's happening here. Okay, let's see. Marie, who was one time strong supporter of the president.
And I also want to ask why the female lawyers are not into this, because I expected the female lawyers to stay into this.
Why did you expect them to stay into this?
So you have to fucking he will have to write on written document from Nathan himself. And he will not call women.
Do you think that is essential as money for it? Do you think that if you have to hit, I'm saying that people are waiting for money?
Fear or not, that we have freedom of speech. I'm not stopping from any freedom including the media. If you want to complain or criticize somebody, you shouldn't go and
So when Prophet Key insulted you, why didn't you take him to court?
How will I take prophetic to court when both of the United Partisans are supporting Prophet Key because they say Prophet Key brought this government to power? Like Prophet Key won't bring the government to power. I one of those that brought the government to power.
You think the United Party? You think the United Party is supporting Prophet Key?
Of course, but for me, what I'm saying here, like he abuses Madam Julie Andy, he abuses Mark Ellen, he abused George Leah mother for 6 years. Prophet Key was in SR. Prophet Key was not in the country when he was doing all of those insults.
On Tuesday, you were here and you were supporting.
Let me answer now. Did I support Prophet Key?
Yeah, yes, sir. You here, you came, you and other people that I don't want to.
Did I support Prophet Key?
Let me clarify.
No.
Let me clarify this.
Did I support Prophet Key? Stop lying.
You said you been working.
Come out and say, ma'am. I said, excuse me, sir. Yesterday you were to my.
I'm more aggressive.
Mary and Johnny Momo, Johnny Momo married there. But anyways, I don't know what to call this, Teray. Hey everyone, hi you guys. Good evening, good afternoon, late night. You guys already know us. We are latecomers, so continue to bear with us. Please share the show and come back. Let's talk Liberia. I don't know, for some, I guess it's a mixed feeling, but not a lot of people have a mixed feeling, right? I think people was actually fed up with this. Is people wanted some kind of calmness or some kind of decency restored. You know, with the whole insult and stuff on women and stuff. So, I mean, there are a lot of things, right, that we could argue about, but seeing something like this, I'm thrilled. I don't know what you think about it, but anyways, hi everyone, come here and come tell us your stand to this whole prophecy, conviction, and imprisonment and whatever. Let's talk about it. I know everybody already talked about it today. Y'all know we always the last one before you're here before y'all go to bed on it, right? So let's talk about it. I know we had a little chit chat about it the last time he went to the courts, and we're back here because there's a new update. But this guy don't even respect the court. Teray. He was supposed to be there at 7. He appeared like 2 or 3 o'clock. Who does that? Like, I don't get it. You try that, they finish it out. That crime, that whatever get you will get it right there. You're not going anywhere with it. But anyways, I guess that's Liberia. I don't know. But let us know, Teray, what's going on. Even though you can't answer my call, we'll talk about that one. But go ahead. Grievances.
Yeah, Amy, how you doing? So,
Amy,
I like the new look though. It's beautiful. I like the color
Valentine's Day.
combinations.
What new look? This is my look. When I get back, I did it on Sunday, but when I wash my hair, I straighten it out. Then I look like.
I mean, I'm not obviously. I'm looking at the outfit. That's what I'm.
Oh, Valentine outfit! Please be my Valentine. What? Go call your wife. Like she must say, "Oh, can you meet at my brother be my Valentine with you?"
You can always be on Valentine with me anytime.
That's nice.
Absolutely. So yeah, good evening to all of our listeners here in the United States and around the world. We are thrilled to be back on again, as Amy alluded earlier, trying to fix things. Trying to come on top a little bit, but nevertheless, we enjoy coming on. So I guess the biggest story in the country is obviously the prophet.
He got locked out.
You know,
he got locked
exactly.
up.
the data will be on bar for 6 months. A lot of mixed feelings, obviously, a lot of different positions, perspectives. People are trying to draw rational conclusion. Some people are asking question why now? When Prophet Keegan doing this, you know what I'm saying? But this is what people need to understand, right? People should even appreciate, especially that last caller. That the last lady that have been interviewed,
Marie
or whatever her name is. Let me tell you this. This is what we'll talk about: change in government, new commander in chief, new administration, new Supreme Court, chief Supreme Court. You know what I'm saying? So you don't expect the status quo of women the same.
You don't. Right? That's why I don't.
And she made a very good point, but then she put her foot in her own mouth, right?
Because she mad at you.
I didn't mean to sound derogatory towards her, but I mean, like, if we say Prophet Q are doing all these things, yeah, Prophet Q are doing it, but Prophet Q are not in the country.
She said it. She contradicted herself.
I mean? Right, but that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? If Prophet Q are in the country, I'm pretty sure President we are going to act, or at least the judiciary are going to do something. But outside of the country, and the question is, any rational person listening to how the guys go reading invectives and derogatory remarks and all these man calls and homo calls, right? At some point you'll be putting ugly tongue outside and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? You have issue with it. Okay, you have issue with it. I mean, to a point now where, and you know now, like in America here, obviously you have the FCC, right?
Who made the picture? They put
You know, you have the AI working. You have the FCC, the Federal Communication Commission
right.
in America here, right? All these things are being regulated. There's a reason why not every movie is aired in the daytime. Some stuff air around 10 o'clock and stuff. Just to give parents, just to give kids, you know, like setting, you know, level of decency, if you will. But in Liberia, we don't have the technology. We don't have those things. Private key on air, it's all over the place.
Seriously.
You know, children are listening to these things, and it's not doing anything for our moral compass as a country. It's not helping our moral conundrum. You know what I mean? We are not doing anything of a positivity in terms of what are we showing to our young, you know, our children, right? So to see some so-called wannabe sensational advocate, you know what I'm saying? Amy, this is the thing that really frustrates me about Liberia. Everybody want to politicize everything.
Right.
Something that even makes sense to the core, but they'll try to make something out of it.
Politics
They'll
can't get
try
a
to
chance.
politicize it. They'll try to do it. My man, having you some decency, I mean, every little thing they'll try to make, they'll try to get some political edge whatsoever into it. It is disgusting, absolutely disgusting. And we see this thing play out across all political spectrum.
Mhm.
We saw Mr. Cummings on the last time again talking about that road we eat. You know what I'm saying? When he's trying to expand the economy. Now, my question, Mr. Cummings, how are you going to expand the economy
Without eating
without
road.
connecting roads to market? Like, really? Are you kidding me? So you try to criticize something, but deep down in your heart, you know very well you cannot expand the economy when you don't connect market to roads, right? So I don't know what you guys be doing. Perfect Key, this guy spent a whole day causing Marcos and some of us talking about how you going to dish out somebody. Like, are you serious? And a decent person, and a good Muslim, and a good Christian. You think that the kind of society that we need to have? Then when the Supreme Court making a move, then everybody want to talk about how the president causing some Joe man 6 years in a row. Well, the last time I checked, Praviki, for 6 years, Praviki was not in the country. All right? And to tell you how this administration is moving, just because Praviki supported the government does not mean the government will not do anything, even though it was done unilaterally by the judiciary system. But it shows that this government will not allow anybody to say, oh, because I supported you, so I can do any reckless thing in the country and go scot-free. No, that's not what we're doing. That's not the Liberian now we have. And every Liberian should embrace this. A lot of people say, oh, maybe they should have found Prophet Key, maybe find $500, right? Everybody's saying that, oh, am I going to go with this 6 months in jail? For me personally, I think that was a little bit harsh, right? Yes, 6 months in jail, that's a little bit too harsh for me, right? I'm talking about profoundly. Maybe putting behind bar for 1 month and over $500 fine, right? And then you pay that. But for 6 months, you know what I mean? For me, I just feel like that a little bit too excessive. But again, I mean, look, that's the chief arbiter of the law in the country, and they make that decision.
Yeah.
And that's why they have their independence to make decisions. And you know, whatever it falls, you know what I mean, falls, and Praviki is behind bar in South Beach. Back to you,
I was sleeping in South Beach tonight. Happy Valentine's Day from South Beach. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. Happy Valentine's Day for my
The man
rest.
traveled and run down the South Beach, my man. They,
11 Jamal out. What's that meant to be used? Are you serious? I got an answer from Nelson when he answered, if they use those words on you, will you like it? But welcome, Morris. How you doing tonight? Happy Valentine's Day.
They call the man wife Mama Key.
Happy Valentine's to you, madam. How is everything?
Everything's fine, thank God.
Yeah, that's good.
Mrs. Ski, is that Mrs. Ski?
I tell you, yeah, the prophet, man. The prophet.
Go ahead, Morris. Let us know about this verdict and the mixed emotions and feelings and everything that is there. I'm through. I'm happy. I don't know. People may try to spin it other way. I mean, people can be leaning on something, right? There can be some leniency, but when it starts to go out of control, it's good to put a lid on it. What's wrong with that? Right?
Yeah.
And all the time that Key was doing his advocacy, according to him, he was not in the country. So why can't people be fed up with it? If you never went to the court to carry your complaint or never did anything, well, we would. That's another thing too, Judy and D. But we'll talk about the Councilor Gongo, podcast that he had after the verdict as well.
The thing is that no society governs itself. It's always an institution that will regulate people's conduct and their behavior. That's why you have government in everywhere, even in the home. The father and the mother are there to regulate the behavior of everybody, the kids, everybody. Even at workplaces. So when I hear people making an argument, I see a lot of people making an argument on social media. Some of them, I truly believe they're making this argument out of ignorance, and some of them out of just mere politic. Because to make the argument that cursing is not a crime, I don't get that. To make the argument that cursing somebody's mother and cursing is a free speech. I think
that's a kind of free speech to begin with.
I think it was necessary for the court to take the decision against Prophet Key. I think to expose a lot of people, to expose the understanding of how people understand things. Because you see, this great philosopher Plato said, a good citizen does not need a law to do the right thing. When you're a good citizen, you need no law to do the right thing. But a bad citizen, even there's a law, he will find excuses. He will find excuse. Because a good citizen, if when you see the plate clean, when I put there, he will say, well, I think I don't need to put there. But a bad citizen will say, but what the Lord has said, nobody will put there yet. He won't say the Lord, the son that say, don't put there yet. Before. So you see, to argue that cursing, it's not a crime. Just say they curse somebody murder, it's not a crime. No, it is a crime. It can be considered as a bullying. It has emotional injury. Imagine sitting and cursing somebody.
He does it, Morris. He said it himself.
Yeah. Oh, he said it?
He said when you insult African men, dad, they don't feel it. Only that mother, when you insult their mother, it makes them mad. So he knows what he's doing. So that is emotional, like he's trying to put some kind of trauma.
There's emotional injuries to that.
Yeah.
Then you say, oh, cursing, there's no crime. No, that's not true. And all the argument people making, that's why we have the court. The court is the one that will say what is wrong and what is right. So they have decided to say, this is wrong. Prophet Key, it is wrong to insult somebody's mother or to insult to cause my cause or to even insult anybody. I had an argument with a friend last night. I told him, I said, look, all the argument you're making, even the place you're working, just go to work today and cause your boss man or your boss lady. Yeah, cause. See whether you go back to work the next day. You ain't got to be a boss man, say your boss lady, just your co-worker. Just go, you start standing, causing my cause. See whether you go to work the next day. See whether you go to work the next day. All the people that are making the argument on Facebook, causing what Tell them, go to work and call your boss man, or call your boss lady, or just stay at your workplace and call. See whether the next day you go back to work. I mean, look, we have to restore our cultural value. To argue that because Prophet Key been causing, so what? And I always say this: the checkpoint must be erected because they didn't be happening yesterday for George, so it should continue happening. Then we don't have a country. If we say we have a country, there must be the erection of a checkpoint. It must reach to the point where it must stop. Nobody, other countries, they got laws that you don't insult leaders. There's a law. You don't insult religious leaders. You don't insult leaders. There's a law. Other countries, cyberbullying that crime. You don't do that just because Liberia. And we have the similar laws in the country. But people making the argument, oh no, you got to write a course. Who told you that you got to write a job course? Anybody? What give you that right?
Oh, thank you.
Seriously,
What is
freedom
going
is not a
on
blank.
again?
Freedom of speech is not a blank. It's not a blank check that they just give it to you. They say go to the bank and put any amount on it and cash it. No, when you speak loosely, you pay for it. Everywhere in the world, you pay for what you do.
Thank you. So Tirek, do you think that the Chief Justice, because I know everybody keep making it about the Chief Justice, right? Say he's something in his power and there are a lot of things going on. They're not paying attention to it, as if you can't do two things at the same time, right? This is this Prophet Key done this before. Why isn't this? And the only person I know who has taken Prophet Key to courts is Madam Julie Andy, right? And from what I heard today, which we'll talk about later, she deserve an apology if it's true. But anyways, do you think the Chief Justice were using it to set a precedence, or you think he was making it about him, like people trying to make it about him? That a lot of people had enough of this guy. Even Nima Kante, the chief secretary, the door is waiting for him to get out for the D-Wave. You know, they even came out and disowned him and all of that. So do you think that this was actually like this was something that needed to be done, you know, because Prophet Key is most people who doing it now, sitting on Facebook and doing other people who doing it now. He's most of them role models, right? They learn these things from him. And like Maurice said, it's so chaotic in the country that women who are supposed to even be respecting themselves, right, sits on the internet and using those words as well. So now that has happened, or do you think the Chief Justice were using it to set a precedent to kind of restore some sort of decency in our country like we had before? Or do you think like everybody's making it about him? Because I have a different, view on that. Like everybody making it seem like it's about him. It's about him. Is that how you see it, or you under my umbrella? Which one is it?
Well, that is a very good assessment of the whole situation, Amy. But look, the thing is more tough, faceted. You look at it from the Chief Justice standpoint. People are saying he insulted the Chief Justice mom or something like that. I don't know how. I don't have a record of him saying that. And now like I'm kind of exuberant.
Yeah, right. I never seen it either, but I don't doubt it.
Google Prophet Key videos or anything like that. Probably just show on my reel, sometime on a timeline, something like that. But I don't go looking for the Prophet video to watch anyway. But like I said, different thing mean to different people differently. Maybe maybe the Chief Justice takes exception to the Marcos. Like we all know, African. It is absolutely uncultured for us to, I didn't even know the last time I even insulted a woman. let alone somebody who making a literally or living out of it. So yeah, it's not normal.
No.
And for all those that are saying the Chief Justice should not have made this a national issue. He should have, if he felt offended about Prophet Keys, insulting his mom, he should have taken it to the civil court, if you will. But you have to understand. I mean, Prophet Keys said words are meant to be used. And to him, Prophet Keys has said power are meant to be used. You know what I'm saying? Like, any man say words are meant to be used. Well, power are meant to be used. That man saying over there, he's literally, the biggest in the country. You know what I mean? So, I mean, and there's a reason why he's there. We thought he's a man that have the best judgment. We felt that he's a man that controls enormous trust and respect, and he was taking among thousands of lawyers, to place him out there. So his judgment obviously is impeccable and should be respected. But all those that are saying all those that are saying whatever they are saying.
If you can answer that, T-Ray, you can go ahead and answer it.
That's only if the president's mother is insulted.
George Jens,
can he send the police to arrest the person? Well, at the end of the day, Josh, that is a hypothetical question. The president, just because he's the president.
What's the question?
He said if the president's mother is insulted, can he send the police to arrest the person?
Okay.
Well, that's not how it works, Josh.
That's not how it works.
The president can file a complaint in a civil court. And then, but look, I think I was seeing a video. It means we can play it when John Gonglo actually had his take on the whole issue.
That's what I said. Yeah, the
right.
Can please got to talk about it.
There is, but people need to understand there are limits to free speech. Even in the country we are in here, right? I'll be on my Facebook like insulting Donald Trump sometimes, President Trump. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do that.
Not the word keep you choosing.
But at the same time, I'm not stupid to know where to go, where not to go. There is there's a strict line that you travel, you know what I mean? Yeah. Right? So you can't go below that. And besides,
free speech ratio.
You have to keep the target. I really do believe it's a bitch ass move when you start to actually, involve people into or this discourse. I have absolutely nothing to do with it. Like if there's something between I and Morris, guess what? There's a line that I can cross to involve Morris' mom or Morris' pa, Morris' daughters, his kids. You know what I'm saying? Like that is
like, think about that.
Right. So it stays between I and Morris alone. That's what we know in this country. We don't get kids involved in our stuff. We don't get mothers involved in our stuff. We don't do wifey. We don't do none of that stuff. Right? We deal with that. But I think it is an absolute childish when you start to bring wives and daughters and sisters into it, right? Because people know very well, especially we that are from Africa, and to the larger extent, even people in America here, when you try to get people mother not involved in that is a different situation. You know what I'm saying?
You know about my mama.
So I think he knows exactly what is it that he be doing.
Oh, he does.
You know what I mean? But look, man, I'm telling you, and for those that are saying why now, why it happened to Judy Annie, why it happened to that, you all need to understand. Their life here, life is not fair, right? Somebody say, you know what, enough is enough. It is time for Prophet Key to go. He's going to go. So do not try to draw any moral equivalence and saying why it didn't happen this time. The last time I checked, Supreme Court Chief Justice basically was not the Chief Justice though, was he? You know what I mean? Was he the guy who did it?
A female was a Chief Justice.
Even at that, Prophet Q was not even in the country. I knew we are going to do something about it if Prophet Q was doing that while in the country.
We all know what they were going to do.
Exactly. Prison would have been the lesser outcome for that ordeal. I can tell you that much. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man.
But this is what I gotta say, right? I think that Nelson said Opa Agency, what is Justice? His name is Justice, right? So he knows what he be doing. He knows exactly. But the thing about it is that if you have something to say to somebody and then you say corrupt officials, the people you insult, they are not all government officials. Any females that come your way, this is how you talk to them. And it's disgusting, right? It's not about female. It's just hearing the word like come from a guy like that. Like any man for that matter, you don't have no respect for your mother, for your sister, for your wife, for your whatever. That's how I look at you. I don't have no respect for you. Okay. They have made this word, this man cussing as a national thing, and people say why he shouldn't have made it a national issue. He had to, so he's trying to set a precedent. So okay, now it may be perfect today, but guess what? You could be next too. You know, that's what this is. It's not about just Prophet Key alone. This is how people just so narrow-minded, just looking at it from the low corner like this. No. It's something that's supposed to set precedent for everybody in the country. You can argue with somebody. Vasco got a big head. I see a head. And I'm telling you, he got a big head. That's my view of Vasco. Well, Murray said Vasco head not big. Murray eyes not my eye.
And, Amy, I just wanted to come in before.
Yeah, so for somebody to say, but for me to go above that and be insulting Vasco mom, that is just below, like so sickening. What that innocent woman got to do with Vasco big head? Well, she got something to do with it. She born him, but still. But anyway, you get the point. You know, if Vasco did something wrong, what does his mother has to do with that? And he wasn't in the country when he was doing all of that to a president. And even now he still does this to President Boyka and his wife and all of that. And he claims he still supports them. You know, so I mean, as much it may not be sunny, but when people are hearing it, it's disturbing because that's not something normal that people grew up with. Some of us grew up with hearing. So somebody, whatever he called it, saying he said whatever he want to say about my female genital part. That's not going to be true, right? He doesn't know a goddamn thing about me. But the fact that, just hearing, because I'm not used to hearing it, it's uncomfortable, right? I'm not used to people talking to people that way, but it doesn't mean I'm doing anything. But not a lot of people, guys, or some people, not everybody can take that when it comes to their parents. And you got to understand that. So for people to be sitting there and justifying it, why they want to answer me, why they want to answer me, why they want to, shame on you. Rest of the two fellas flies together. But come in, Morris and them Vasco something.
Amy, people making the argument there's no law. It is not even true. There's a law that says there's a law that protects the court. You cannot bring the court into public disrepute. There's a law. There's a law that protects the office of the presidency. These offices are the highest offices in the country. There are laws that the president must be protected. There are laws that the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is the highest court, should be protected. And when they say the presidency, they're not the office. The president who occupied the office and the office. When they say the Supreme Court, they're not the building, the people that occupy the Supreme Court. Now, to make the argument that because and over the time, right? The likes of Francis Popo, I know Popo, Sienna Yo, and they basically they be considered man. I can say that if that was Johnny Lewis, nobody would call Johnny Lewis man. If anybody who know Johnny Lewis, the man who died, who left when Francis Popo took over, nobody can call that man because you know what? That man know the law. To argue that because they been called other president, the president from Madam Salif, they causing not just start with Jowiya, they causing started with Madam Salif. There were people who were insulting Madam Salif left and right, insulting Madam Salif. Man, the law could not protect the president. The constitution should have protected the president. All the people that were insulting Madam Salif, man, Jowiya, man, Waka, man, the law supposed to protect them. They didn't do it. They did not do it. So if this Supreme Court judge decided to erect the checkpoint, he can't make that argument. Oh, because they've been causing yesterday, so what? So because they've been killing yesterday, so they should continue killing? I don't even understand that argument people making.
Thank you. But that's the thing, Ray. There's nothing stopping you from criticizing your president or your leader when they're doing wrong. But going to that extent, that's where it's wrong. Come in, Vasco.
Thank you, Ami. Let me say hi to you guys and hi to our followers, those that are watching us. I think the Facebook went off.
You did?
Because, yeah, I've been checking on it. And I don't think it's on, but yeah, I think I tested you and told you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
George is on Facebook, so I think it's on. Edwin is on Facebook too.
Facebook on.
Facebook on? Okay.
Yeah,
maybe from a side.
Yeah, it could be.
Hey, man, Vasco, you need to wake up, man.
I was watching the thing freeze when Nelson was talking, and I kept going back.
Yeah.
When Nelson talking,
your phone because Nelson not freezing.
Yeah, maybe it could be your phone, but Facebook on.
That Bonanza you got go on another thing, but go ahead.
Man, I use it Bonanza.
Hey, the Vasco.
Yeah, my brother Ture, what's up? So, look, yeah, most of us don't support Prophet Key, and all of you guys know that. You guys are the one that have been supporting Prophet Key.
Don't answer for anybody. You heard everybody giving a point.
Yeah, you guys are the one that have been supporting Prophet Key, but now that you guys, every one of you guys are gang up against Prophet Key because now you're looking at his insult to be wrong or bad thing. Yeah, it is true. It is wrong. But we should also look at where this thing started from. And Prophet Key got the backing from this government, this identical government. I can remember there was a time a renowned lady in our country took this man to court because of this sin insult. But then we saw the president of, I think, political advisor or some kind of advisor, Buju Keita. Legal advisor to the president. We're talking about the legal advisor, the people that advise the president on legal issue or legal matter. We saw him interpreting the law. He said that Prophet Key cannot, nobody can sue Prophet Key or Prophet Key cannot go to jail because of insult, because he's insulting somebody's mother. And his reliance was that all of those things were decriminalized. And when you decriminalize something, even if that thing is legal, but nobody go to jail for it because it's like a free speech. And when you look at what happened today, I think the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice, he just put his feelings. He put his feelings in this.
Oops, sorry. Oh, sorry, Vasco. My bad. Go ahead.
He put his feelings in this identical thing, right? So you the Chief Justice, Prophet King insulted your mother, right? Prophet King not insulted you. He insulted your mother. So I think
Don't have that argument too, I beg you.
the mother should have been the one taking Prophet King to court for insulting her. But then the Chief Justice, instead of him suing Prophet King to one of the lower court, no, they just invited the man straight to the full bench. That means they were everything. They were the referee, the player, everything. And people told him, say, look, the poor want to put you in jail. Like, oh, when I saw the thing, I said, but the poor want to put the man in jail. Because the man insulted the Chief Justice of murder. Look, you see, in this country, and some of you people that support the rescue government, you guys are not doing well for this country. And today, when I said it in the chat room, people say, oh, this and that. Right? What we're observing right now, it is ringing bell in most of the people that are supporting the rescue government ears that the CDC-led administration, but I mean, will go down in history as the government that allow their citizens, give them that right, exercise that right when it comes to free speech. And do you think a lot of top lawyers and a lot of people around our country don't know the meaning of decriminalizing or free speech? And this is what Prophet King been practicing all along. Prophet King never raped anybody. He didn't kill nobody. He been insulting people from day one. And the same people that brought up their man cause, these are the same people today cannot stand the man cause. Today he is the victim of the same people that promoted him. And this is wrong. This is completely wrong.
Thank you, Vasco.
I think Prophet King actually needs justice.
Yay.
But he put himself into this whole thing because he should have challenged this thing. He shouldn't have even tell these people in court that, oh, I was wrong and I'm this and that. If you're going to get a good lawyer, trust me, this thing wasn't going anywhere. But because maybe they just gave you a public defender, that when they take you to court, they just go stay in front of the court and say, yeah, the man, our client is guilty and this and that. That's where they're messing up at.
Thank you.
But there is no crime. Prophet King committed no crime to go to jail for 6 months. There is nobody here can come on the show and interpret that identical law that found Prophet King guilty.
Thank you, Vasco.
Of insulting the Chief Justice mother.
Thank you. So we talking about somebody starting mark or somebody because I think Morris might know better than I do, because I think my Sao just started 2 years ago. What was that?
How many minutes you give me to talk?
Don't come with your mini thing yet. You talk for long like everybody else. Y'all let to disturb with the mini stuff. Everybody talking, nobody complaining yet.
I look at my turn.
You always, I don't like that. Always disturbing the show for that mini thing. You can make the show noise. Say, y'all stop that. Maturity. Don't make me.
My father, I can't be running here.
No, I ask you how many minutes you're giving, because I just talk for 1 minute.
Just a busy on here. You ain't play with me. So.
And then misbehavior like we still calling.
But I don't government jump on. Don't say jump on my waist or jump
on. Morris can tell us here, because Morris the one something Madam Celine in time to tell us like who like we've been hearing been insulted. Who started that insult, especially for a female, even going ahead and talking about the message, putting somebody who can be that grandmother putting messages on panties on the clothes and doing stuff like that. Then
So what you
CDC
mean?
no, we're not doing that. Then CDC lover wants to sit down here and tell us that somebody started man course. Somebody started cursing. Which is, I guess, the United Party people then. And first of all, that mischaracterization. They can't tell us that somebody was supporting Prophet. I look at somebody who will support Prophet Key. I would never, if I don't have anything to do with my money, the suffering people who are in Liberia, who are looking for help every day, I'd rather go give it to somebody. I don't care who it is. I don't even support the entire party before I go sit down because somebody's saying something to a party. So I'll go support somebody like that. I would never support anybody like that. So don't come here with that CDC or that politics that you like to play. Like when you see somebody supporting somebody and the person something, you think the person support that something. Don't come here with that. Nobody here support Prophet Key. Nobody. You heard us saying what we say here before you got on the show here. So don't come here with that flea fly flow. Nobody here. You will come in, but wait. Like I was saying, Morris, if you can take us down memories, because these guys they always think that everybody was under the rock when they were in opposition when Madam Sedis were president for 12 years. They let the act that people are under the rock. They don't have something they will come and want to rewrite the narrative to come here and tell somebody about where the disrespect, the insults in politics started from.
But I just said it. Before President Weah and President Bouaka became president, Madam Sele was president before then. Madam Sele was president for 12 years. If you were following the insult, I remember the late Mamadi Jakite were trying to form a media something, a sanction people that just sit on the radio and insult president, insult leaders. He was fighting to, but he could not, because it was just too much. Under Madam Sele, people used to call on the radio to insult the old man. Insult. So that insulting thing started from Madam Sele's time. It didn't start from Joe Weah time. And even if it starts from Joe Weah time,
it still doesn't make it right.
Doesn't make it right. And I listened to my brother making the argument that, you see, this is the argument that they've been running with on social media. Oh, if somebody insult my mother, so I don't have the right to defend my mother. My mother will be the one. Really? Somebody insult my child. Even my child. Somebody insult my child in my presence.
And what she bomb me for?
Huh? Exactly.
And what she bomb me for?
You see the kind of argument? They're not the woman. They're not the chief justice. That the chief justice man supposed to.
The key argument he running with it.
No, but all of them running with that argument on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You see the kind of thing.
Hello, do Amy. Let me come in real quick, right? So look, at the end of the day, I know my man George is on the comment section and stuff like that, all that stuff.
Everything about it is to them.
This is the thing. We can't make everything politics.
Seriously.
Right? We can't make everything politics. Sometimes we need to allow common sense to preside over that day, at least for the sake of decency, right? You and I know if you're a good Muslim, a good Christian, right? These are not something that we should embrace. Okay, just because the status quo was that yesterday does not mean when someone is something about it today. All right.
Oh, George,
just because Prophet Key was like that yesterday, and nobody did anything about it. And Vasco, to your credit, you're absolutely right. Right? Even today, Yeke Kolba on spoon. And I also can't wait for Yeke to return back to our country and go back to insulting the president like the way he been doing.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be next. He's gonna be having content. For real. You can't run a country cannot be like this. When you disagree with people, bro, disagree with them. If you're gonna if I have if I have issue with Vasco, I deal with Vasco like a man to man. But I don't sort of bring Vasco man in a Vasco children, Vasco daughter, Vasco grandma for crying out loud. What kind of country do we have? You know what I'm saying? So Yes, it was wrong doing President George Manawiya time for Prophet Key to have sat in Morocco at the time.
Yeah.
To insult, former President George Manawiya. That was wrong. And Vasco, for you to say we were supporting Prophet Key, come on, bro. Come on,
He
man.
must have been out of his mind
know
to
what I'm
say
saying?
something like that.
There is no
All
way
of
I was
you guys are
Prophet
not
Key.
just
Right?
financially, morally. All of you.
You know what I'm saying? So you see, but by the end of the day, I know Vasco, you will come with any kind of thing. But
I know.
but
That politics, everything that politics with
I'm
him.
just saying Vasco, right? I'm just saying Vasco. The change that some anticipated are going to happen. This is what is happening right now. Like I said, and let me say this again. Was this crime or you know what I mean? Like a crime merit him being in prison for 6 months? I don't really think so. You know what I mean?
That meant is that 1 year.
Who gets to decide the punishment?
1 year. Prophet King needed 1 year. 1 year.
Isn't it
You know what I
6
mean?
months? And you're talking
For
about
me,
it's
but
not
you
enough?
see, this is where we all gonna have our own say into it, right?
Yeah. Raise your
That's
Elizabeth.
right. I would have, you know what I mean? Find a man $500 or better yet $1,000, right?
No, you gotta hit
And
him
Amy,
with
I sent
Amy,
I sent you the video. I sent you the video when they're reading the verdict to him, right? You know, I knew that you are getting serious when the prophet started taking a chin and giving it to your wife. I said, oh shit, shit is going down. You know what I mean?
He kept it cocktail.
Yeah, but to be quite honest, man, I mean, all joke aside, bro, we as a country, we need to be able to decipher politics from governance, from decency. You know what I mean? When politicians will do the politics thing, you know what I mean? We'll do that. We enjoy nobody do politics more than Liberian can do politics. You know what I mean? That I would say that. I don't think nobody engaged citizens across Africa. Nobody engaged in politics in Liberian, right? But when it time to governor, let's put that thing behind for 6 years. All hands on deck. Let's do that. Then when that time comes again, then we'll go back in again or try to find something, right? Because at the end of the day, if we try to politicize every single thing that happens in the country, brother, we will be beyond development. And all these so-called wannabe advocates.
I mean, you're talking for long.
All these so-called wannabe advocates in the country. You guys are actually setting a very bad precedent. Because number one, you want to score political point on every little thing happening in the country, right? Some of you be parading, putting your own foot in your own mouth.
You know what
I mean? Just want to draw political points. My cause again, you saying you're wrong.
Thank you.
Having you some decency.
Thank you, Terrell. Let's have Edwin make his point. Go ahead, Edwin. Let's hear you.
I thought I was making point.
Yeah, but I thought Vasco's would have come in for.
I going somewhere. Go ahead.
I also leave on your show because I probably also won't be coming here.
Okay, don't come. Go ahead.
You're 4 years. You can give me jail to talk.
Hey man, all the while saying that you must talk, Maggie. Yeah,
I know, man. This is why you just stop that. See, this is why I don't like you.
We got caught on the phone, guys.
Yeah, serious. Go ahead, Edwin. Sorry about that.
Yeah, but anyway, thank you for the podcast. I just want to weigh in my 2 cents, and this is how I'm going to say, right? To say something not too long. You know, let me send our boy in Labrador this. We Librarians, most of us, we don't really, when things happening, we can't pick out the sense that in it. Look, this is just the tip of the iceberg. When a child is born, the child will come out, sit, learn how to grow up, will start working. This is a precedent, as my colleague said, Liberia, we got to move forward. because Prophet is not a judge, we are says here, and he was all over the country. Trust me, I mean, if Prophet was in our country, but now he dead. I mean,
Of
we are
course.
but now he dead because
Yeah, more than bar.
the jacket man I was sitting down on spoon to talking nonsense. He almost got killed in our country. If or now the opposition, the citizen, I came to the rescue. You think Prophet was stupid to leave from Morocco doing job we are done? Even a job we are not going to order his killing. But the rebel group that might were funny, called the Pakistan Brigade, are going to kill him. So, but for this government is responsible, we're not killing nobody. We're going to use the law to deal with them. The next group of people in our country, the Abraham Gosling, we on those that just sit on radio and just use profanity and use all type of languages. And then they will complain about Crystal, like Crystal go to camp. But you people sit on radio shows, call yourself journalists, and insult permanent people in society. And then you're talking about who is property. This is just the tips of the iceberg.
Thank you.
This president has been set by the government activation. Now you can't want waiting for the rights in the country. Your way.
Thank you.
You do not need any that way.
Thank you. Yeah, guys, a lawmaker. If you want to, he's supposed to be making a law. If you want to come to me, then you come. But go ahead, Vasco. And that whining and complaining thing, y'all need to cut it out. We on this show. You want to come, you come. You don't want to come, you don't come. Don't come here and be telling us that you don't come, you don't do that. Let's not do that. That's not nice to the viewers. Go ahead. Seriously. Hey, George, you driving?
No, I'm not.
Go ahead, Vasco. You can hear me now?
Oh, okay. I hear you. You know, you guys are all hypocrites.
Thank you. I'm suing you.
Yeah. And no, we are not running a unity party Liberia. That country is governed by laws. This is not something that just came down from the blue sky. This is something that the former president sent to the House, and these people passed that thing into law. The people decriminalized free speech. Prophet Key been exercising his freedom of expression. That's the way he believes he can give his message out. And you're the same group of people. Today you're acting like y'all get moral. When the man started, if you guys were sort of decent Liberian people, you're going to be all on the very platform telling people not to support this man. What this man is doing is wrong. You just sit down with who saw this man when the man started. There's something the man caused. The man is living on the man cause. Prophet Key was looking at someone who living on a dump site. But you supported this man financially. Look at the car that man driving. You listen to the man wealth. The last time, the woman said her husband a decent man. But you're the same Unity Party people will pay the man to cost people. So the man took it as like a full-time job. He cost until his government came to power. He went to Liberia and even continued the insult. And who embraced this man? The president. We just saw the man with the president shaking it. They took the man on the stage to meet the president. If you knew very well that this man was doing something that was against the law of the republic, why you should even take him to meet the president of the country, even the first lady? That today now is wrong because one Chief Justice sat down and said, no, the man saying he caused my mom, I will use my power against him. Now what they did today is they use his power to put him in jail. None of you here can cite any law that Prophet Key went against. None of you here that talking. When somebody don't go against the law or they didn't break any law, you don't have any right to put it in jail.
Well, that man really enjoying himself. They see this go on.
You interrupted me now. You understand? Nothing. And I dare y'all. Y'all can't cite any law. I heard my brother saying they started doing anything. My brother, Name one person that insulted Ellie that went on the radio. That time we didn't have Facebook. That went on the radio and insulted that woman.
He didn't have
Can't name
Facebook. Ellen,
nobody.
he didn't have Facebook. Ellen time.
Any man finish.
That's why I said name
That's
one
what
person. So the person that insulted
You will
Ellie,
name the
you know
person, don't worry, Morris. Let him finish. That Vasco finish talking
But I
about
think to say that you guys are only people that are in Liberia. We all were in Liberia anytime. We were down the early left bow. Nobody.
Thank you.
The whole bad attitude started doing your administration when you're in opposition. That's the time the thing started. And you got embraced and you clap for it. Today, because your guy want Chief Justice that turn the constitution upside down when the lawmaker had issue and you're rewarding him and making Chief Justice because they insulted his mother now, so he used his power.
Thank
And
you,
this is,
Vasco.
the Liberian people, we just want you to know that these people that you trust and give power, you hear what they say? We're targeting April. That man's a journalist.
Thank you,
He said on the
Vasco.
radio, he's not insulting the president.
Let's go, Emmanuel. Thank you, that from Vasco.
They say he will go after the joke. So
we
now
used to take the money from and support Afriki. Come here, Emmanuel.
Can I? I mean, man, give me a spot now. Let me talk
take the
some
money
more.
from to support Afriki.
I didn't even complete my thought. The woman just, oh no, eh.
You know how many times I told you thank you? That judge, Emmanuel, please. That judge. Oh, yeah,
You know that song like Infinito?
No mind.
Thank you.
You get
Guys.
all the thing. All that's it.
Go ahead,
Look,
Judge.
guys, I want to thank you for the show. One thing I want you guys to know that there's the same Chief Justice who employed his son as an associate judge, even though his son was still in school. When people put their mouth on him, he had to reverse that decision. So I'm saying that to say that this is not somebody who you say makes, my man, why are you doing that thing for? I don't want to hear that sound, please. If I'm talking, I'm like, please, yeah, I know you will tell your own. When I'm talking my own, just don't distract me by doing please, yeah. Let me get finished. You will tell your own. The thing is that this is a Chief Justice that make mistakes as well. Our laws say you cannot sue on behalf of anyone. If someone insults Amy can be my wife. I cannot go and sue the person. Amy can go and sue the person. The Chief Justice invited Prophet Key because he said that Prophet Key insulted his mother. If his mother is alive, the mother was the one that had the standing according to our legal system. We are not going here, we're talking about common sense. Common sense is not a law. Your common sense will be your common sense. The law, that's why if it were common sense, everybody will be lawyers. But law, you have to go to school for 4 years before you become a lawyer. That means there are statutes, there are things you need to know that that common sense cannot teach you. That's why people go to school to become lawyers. So when people saying common sense, I do not support, for the record, I do not support Prophet Key's language, the way he uses it. But let be fair, let be clear when it comes to these things. And people here saying that when George Weah empowered Prophet Key, they did not go to Liberia. That's a complete lie. Prophet Key went to Liberia. He went on a farm and all. And he said, hey, I said, well, I'm going to come to Liberia, they're going to arrest me. Let me hear. Prophet Key was in Liberia. He went there. I saw him.
I mean, all know you went like, bro. What time you went like, bro?
When George Weah was president.
Yeah, when George Weah desperate wanted Nimba vote. Come on, man. You about stupid here.
No, that's not election time.
You all red. Yeah, around that time you went like,
Let
bro.
me finish, red.
My man, you say the man did not go there. I'm telling you that the man went, and then you say when George Weah went
do election time.
The nonsense that you got to stop him, my man. Wait, let me finish. That you can be bending the rule. When people bring about it, when you said the man did not go there, I tell you, say the man went there. Then you say, oh, when the time you went there, I time George Weah went there vote. You said the man did not went there. I'm telling you that the man went there. Man, let me finish. You try to talk about that. Let me finish. Here's the thing. People come here and want to make an issue now. Let me tell you something. The reason why these people allow Prophet Key and how they call him, say Yeager to be insulting the president, insulting eminent people because they wanted to demoralize these people. In our society, even in your house, when your children can look at you and insult you in the face, that power, the power you have in the house diminishes. And because they wanted to diminish the people that were in power, they encouraged people to insult the people so that the people power that they had over the country could be diminished. And it would look at nobody look at ordinary people. So they allowed that to happen. Now they are in power. They want to stop that because they know the power of insults, the power that the insult has that can diminish you as a person. They don't want it now.
Okay, so yeah, I got a question for you.
Please go ahead.
So you said that the Chief Justice's mother was the one who was insulted, right? It
Yes,
wasn't
that's
the Chief
correct.
Justice, and she's the one who's supposed to sue.
Yes.
Did Pastor Key, did Prophet Key just get up and insulted her, or he was dealing with her son, insulting her son, saying that he did something and drag her in it? Did he was he having an issue with her personally and he did that, or he was having issue with the Chief Justice and he did that?
Okay, Amy, I read the ruling. If the ruling has said Prophet Key insulted the Chief Justice, including his mother, then of course he can say, I'm fortunate for 2 hours because I was insulted, I was injured in the process, and my mother was also injured in the process, so we are suing together. But he sued the woman because the woman, or he invited this man because he said the man insulted his mother. I mean, that's what the ruling says. We cannot bring anything different from what the ruling said. So if you want to go behind and say, oh, they insulted the man, no, the man did not even say they insulted him. The man said the guy insulted my mother.
But against that point, no, the question I asked you, you know, Sonny, was Prophet Key having a personal issue with the Chief Justice's mother, or he was having issue with the Chief Justice being corrupt and he insulted his mother like he always does with everybody else?
Okay, I mean, the thing is that that's not how the law works, right? If the law says the person who is injured is the only one that can sue, that means the person who is insulted, the person who is beaten, the person who is stolen from, that the only person can sue. You cannot sue because I cannot, as a father, I cannot go sue somebody because they beat my son. My son will go and sue, except that son is underage. That's what the law says.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, so let me go ahead now. Because that's what the law says. Let me finish, Amy. The thing is that people come on here, and I don't support Prophet Key, and I will say 100 times I don't. But the law should be the law. This Chief Justice, because he support, if this Prophet Key may have insulted somebody else who is not a part of the United Party, they wouldn't have called him. But because the Chief Justice, even throughout all his rulings, even when the CDC won the election, he dissented. When it went to court, he dissented. He did not agree with the CDC. Everything he has always done, he would disagree with the CDC. So that's why when this president came to power, the president felt that because the guy has always been on my side, I'll make him as a Chief Justice. That's what he did. So now, here we are. The country now has to be better now. We all got to agree that no more causing, nobody more causing anybody. That's what they are trying to tell us now, which for me is pathetic, is ridiculous, but that's the people we have. The hypocrisy is reigning and is ringing bells in our faces, and we have to see it as it is. Thank you.
Thank you. They're bringing Emmanuel in, but just for clarity, Prophet Key says on his show every day since President Bouaga was president, he sought the president and he sought his wife as well. And I got numerous videos for that. Go ahead, Emmanuel. So if they were paying him, I guess they were paying him to insult their leader too. But go ahead, Emmanuel.
Yeah, hello.
How you doing, brother?
Well, I'm grateful. The issue that happened yesterday in Liberia, I want us to look at the Supreme Court's own opinion.
Mm-hmm.
When the House impasse was happening, the House invited the Supreme Court. And they said, please compare the majority to come and join us.
Mm-hmm.
The Supreme Court said, you didn't make any law on how we can compare the majority to come. So we can't interpret that part of God. Only interpret what is the law. So there's no law to that, so we can interpret it. That was Article 33. Article 74 also said the penalty on the contempt against the court should have the penalty on how somebody who has been charged for contempt against the court, that penalty should be ascribed or affixed by the Constitution. Article 74. The Constitution, when it said it, no lawmaker has passed any law on how contempt charges should be. So what law is the Supreme Court interpreting for exerting that power? So I'm only looking at their own opinion. Article 33 say you must compare the upper number to come to the lower number. The Supreme Court can interpret it because you don't make any law like that. So no follow to enforce it. Article 74 say when there's any contempt against the court, the penalty for that contempt, it should be affixed by the legislature. That the legislature is supposed to tell us on a contempt charges penalty how it's supposed to be done. So there's no law to that. So for me, I'm confused how the Supreme Court is acting. On one hand, they will say no law. On the other hand, when you're against them, then they enforce it.
Were they saying no laws to the House, that the House don't have any laws like that? Or they are saying there's no law at all in the country? Like
There's
that?
no law at all. The Constitution says compare the lower number can compare the higher number to come. That's what the Constitution says. But how you can compare them, the law is not there. The Constitution also says any contempt against the court is a crime. But what penalty for that crime? That penalty should be decided by the legislature in Article 74. No law establishing how to treat that contempt. So the Article 33 is the same as Article 74. Article 33 talks about the lawmakers and the compelling of majority to come. Article 74 says the contempt against the court should have a penalty. What a penalty is, it should be also be made by the lawmakers. So the two articles haven't been completed. So you refuse to add on one because it was not completed. Now you are adding the other, it's not also completed. How is the Supreme Court acting on that? Now, out of sentiment, I have not supported. I'm not saying Prophet Key should not be punished. For me, over and over, I hated the fact that people were even going to be looking at his videos. The very first time Prophet Key started insulting his friends, throwing out in Morocco, the oppositions at the time rented house for him, bought car, started sponsoring him. I'm not saying that was the right thing he did. Even those who supported him, I know that politics they were doing it because they wanted something from him. But if you want to punish the man, punish him by the law. The mistake the Supreme Court made today, if we don't correct it, it will hurt us. It will hurt the country.
Okay, so I have one more question. So the Supreme Court does not make any laws. They don't take any action to the House of Representatives tells them to. Is that what I'm hearing?
The Supreme Court.
The House of Representatives dictate to them what to do by putting laws in place for them to go by. I thought this were three branches of three, but I mean separate but equals. So if the Supreme Court doesn't have the way the House can say they have their own laws that governs them, right? So the Supreme Court does not have any laws at all on their own that governs them. It has to be the House of Representatives that make the laws before they go by it.
The Supreme Court is the interpreter of the law.
I get it. I get that part.
They interpret the Constitution. They interpret the law. So if there's no law, they can't interpret it. They said it. They just said it last year. Last year they said we cannot compare the protocol because you don't make law for that.
Emmanuel, you're not getting my question though.
I answer your question. The question you asked, the Supreme Court can only act on the law that is available. No law there.
So they don't have any law that governs them.
They have law
I
that
know they
govern them.
interpret the entire constitution, right?
Yeah.
But how many something says what they do? They got what is the name? Ethical days and all of that, and other one. You telling us they don't have any laws at all. The only law that's on how something in the constitution is what it goes by. They don't have any laws or rules for themselves that govern them to act on interpreting those laws. Like the House. The House they make laws, right? But they have their own law then that say, oh, when we saying these things, they will come out all that when they were fighting, talking about majority, minority, whatever, and people were interpreting constitution, they said they had their own laws that govern them, right?
Yes.
Outside of that, they have their own laws. So you're telling us too that even though it's like that in the House, the Supreme Court has no right, no law. They're just sitting there, whatever interpretation they're doing, nothing governing them in their own little session. It just all boil down to the Constitution, and that's it. Nothing. They don't have anything that governs them. I just want to make sure and know it, because these things is important to maybe somebody naive like me too that watching us. They want to know.
Okay, they do have laws, but you don't understand. I don't think you understood what I said. The law says contempt charges. The Supreme Court has the power to charge people for contempt. But what punishment should be given? That punishment should be derived by a law from the legislature. There's no law in Liberia that tells that when you commit a contempt charge against the court, that you're supposed to spend 4 years, 5 years, 3 days, 9 days. No law that says it.
Okay.
That's the first thing. The second part about it again, their own law, the Supreme Court own law, Title 17. I've told you the Supreme Court own law. Title 17 say, if you have interest in your case, don't sit on it. The person who had the interest in that case was the Supreme Court, was the Chief Justice of the nation. The Chief Justice was on that case. He's supposed to recuse himself. That's the order of error again. So those are the two things that I see, in my opinion, that if it is not corrected, it will hurt the nation. Prophet Key deserves to be punished. But you can't punish him by doing the wrong thing. Because what he did to Prophet Key is a precedent. And in law, when they say precedent, it becomes a law. That is, next time another person do it, that particular thing that you did before that you're going to look at to punish the person to. Whether it's in the constitution, whether in any law, the fact that the Supreme Court already said it is a law in that country. If I make any mistake and insult anybody in that country, they will look at that Supreme Court ruling and say this is what the Supreme Court say, and they can punish me based on what that Supreme Court say. So the Supreme Court error, we can't allow it to last. Because when you allow it to last, it will become a punishment for almost any other person in that country. They will have to be careful with how we allow Supreme Court to run their decision on certain things. That's why in other cases, when it's not clear, you even ask the Supreme Court to interpret and say again, say, you know what, people not understand your law, please make it clear. For the last time, when the Supreme Court said ultra virus, the people say, you know what, please bring down the ultra variant so that we don't misinterpret it. Why they ask them to clarify, because the Supreme Court when they make opinion, that opinion becomes a law. You can come back unless you change that opinion, unless it is changed, it becomes a law of the country. So what the Supreme Court did today is an error that.
So your argument is the process in which they did it.
The way they did it. The Chief Justice was not supposed to be on that case, number one. The penalty for the crime was not ascribed, number two. Those are the two things that I think they need to look at.
Valid point. You got it. So, Tareq, come in and yeah, go ahead.
To retire, man.
Yeah, so look, Emmanuel, thank you so very much for bringing a broader perspective to the whole issue. So look, that's a reason that's part of the reason why I did not go in depth with it as much as you did, Emmanuel. But I was looking at it from that perspective too. Probably did not explain it like the way you were able to. But yeah, but Amy kept saying precedent today for like the entire show. Yeah, so once you subject Prophet Key to this now, You know, remember I said sometime like I can't wait for Yeke to come in the country, because once like anybody who uses, you know,
Profanity.
vulgarity like that, that person that person will be jacked up.
Will be subject to that same punishment.
You know what I'm saying, right? So I mean, why it is a good thing that we're trying to bring sanity in the country and all that stuff, but we have to be very careful how we go by doing it. And that is why I was like, you know what? Maybe make it like a fine, $500. I mean, $500 is not small money, like, bro. You know, like you see, easy America. I mean, that's why the people any
I was at 5G.
Any offense of that magnitude, right? Like here, why the people do here? They penalize you from your pocket.
That's what I'm saying. 5G will hurt that boy pocket. Not $500.
You take the red light. Guess what? Depending the state you in, right? Because state varies and penalty and stuff like that. But you take the stop sign the same way. You drive in the wrong, whatever you do, they put checking. So I would have hoped, or at least prefer, that they actually find I got maybe something like $500. Maybe get him some level of community service, some level of community service job or something like that, right? Maybe like, you know, clean government toilet for 2 months.
No, I'll tell 5G.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean. So something like that. That right there, you can enforce that. But when you really go deep into it, it really get a little bit complicated, given the kind of country we're in and all that stuff. But I mean, I really appreciate if you play that.
Let me play this.
Let me anyway. Toure so eager for everything to be played. I thought I was supposed to come in.
No, we were not sparkling around. I raised my hand up for.
It's all right. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Special recognition.
For a few days after the Supreme Court cited Prophet Key for contempt, I got a lot of calls from Liberians in Liberia and abroad. And it was simple, simply because I represented a lot of media institutions, and I announced before publicly that I would dedicate my professional life to the defense of the press. I am the same person who drafted the original draft of the law that is today called the Kamara law that repealed all the anti-speech laws. But I did not include a law that punishes abusive language, disorderly conduct, 17.3 of the penal law. I live by the law. The law is the law.
Okay.
I told the people who called me that Prophet Key had crossed the line. His speech was criminal because abusive language under our law is a crime. And the Supreme Court is the highest court of the land. I don't even think a magistrate court should tolerate any abusive language for any citizen of Liberia or any resident. And since the Supreme Court came down with its opinion today, I've had several calls from people. What do you think about the Supreme Court opinion? I applaud the Supreme Court opinion. The Supreme Court did extremely well to defend the sacredness of the court. We can do everything in this court, in this country, but the court must remain supreme. It's a sacred place. You cannot go on insulting the Chief Justice, the justices, or their parents, and all of that. This is so wrong. And morally, it teaches wrong lesson. We want our society to be a decent society. I defend free speech. I will defend free speech from life, but not abusive.
And there we have it. Our famous counselor breaking it all down. The legal minds and CDC need to come and hear this. free speech is different from he never the so-called did a free, everybody was working free. He did the Kamara and he was the original drafter, like you said. But he never removed the part that said the profanity part, right? He never removed it. That's what the council is setting up. I have a little problem with that though, because when he was taken to court, when Judy Andy took him to court, and then Bushi Bankhead came in defending him that it wasn't criminal, why didn't the lawyer counselor come up to make that clear? That's my part that I have on him. But let Morris come in first before we something. Go ahead, Morris.
But he was wrong for that, right? I think he paid $300 on that thing though.
Yeah, but Bushi Ben said it wasn't criminal. That she could have sued him, civil lawsuit, not criminal. But Councilor Gonga is saying that that part was never appealed. So that was criminal case. That was a criminal case. So she deserves some kind of public apology because she never got justice. Now alone, convoluted with Chief Justice, they want to get justice and not her. But go ahead.
Yeah. The first thing I want to respond to George comment and that of Brother Emmanuel. Let me start with George. You see, this guy sometimes they just wake up, they come on the show, just think they will just come and just say what they want to say. It's okay, it's freedom of speech. But we also the brother he even saying the current Chief Justice 2017 he descended, he didn't know. That man will not be on the bench. That man will not be on the bench. The person who gave a dissenting view in 2017 was Cabinet Janet. That man was appointed by George Weah. George didn't even know that. The current Chief Justice was appointed on the bench by George Weah, by President Weah. He didn't even know that.
They always want to play politics.
They just come and a lot of people don't even know that the constitution of the country is the highest law, but it's not the only law in the country. In Liberia, we have customary laws. Is the law. We have statutory laws. If you hear people say those are laws, the only thing is that the constitution is the highest law. No law supersedes the constitution, but we have other laws. And when you hear people coming and saying, "Oh, it's not in the constitution. It's not in the constitution. It's no law." Look, the Supreme Court decision cannot be in a country. In a country, when the Supreme Court come up with a decision, is the final decision. The only thing you can do, that's why they have the ECOWAS code. You can go there, even at that ECOWAS code only for human rights violation. That's all. If your right as a ECOWAS citizen, your right has been violated in your country, and that decision was taken by the highest court, you can take flight to the ECOWAS court. But when the Supreme Court passed a decision, they pass a verdict, that's the final. And to come out to say, "Oh, there's no law that say how many years, whether that 4 years, that 5 years, that how many years," no. The judge, the court have that power to decide your fate. Everywhere, when the judge passes a decision, the judge can decide, say, you go to jail for 2 years, you go to jail for 5 years, you go to jail for 1 year, you pay 10, you pay 1,000, you pay 2,000. The judge have that final decision everywhere. It's just like when you go to the counselor section for visa, the counselor can tell you you're not going or you're going. That power is in the judge power to say they have to the legislature have to decide. No. Even the legislature own law, they don't interpret it. The Supreme Court have the one to say, "You know what? This your law that you make. This is what it means." That's the power the Supreme Court has to interpret your own law that you make. So they can tell you, say, "Look, this case, the verdict has been passed. You go to jail 2 years. In fact, you're free." Judge, if the judge are going to say today, "Look, Prophet Key, go, you free. Prophet Key, free. Nothing can happen." That's the court. The court got that power to pass a verdict to say you're free or you're not free. So for you to come out and say, "Oh, the legislature have to decide," no way. That's not true. The legislature does not decide the fate. The fate can be decided by the interpretation of the law. And who has that power? The court has that power to interpret the law, to decide your fate.
Thank you. Emmanuel?
Yeah, Mr. Customer give her any article, any paper, anywhere that say what he just said.
To say what? What
All that
article?
all that you just explained, do you have any backing in any law?
To
Or
say
any
what now?
from anywhere?
To say what?
Where the court don't
Mhm.
have to, they can do anything without
I di-
following the law.
I didn't say the court can do anything. I said the court can have the power to interpret the law. The judge has, bossman, the judge has the power to decide your fate. Am I lying?
You are not explaining the right thing.
Okay, so let's read this article and see what I align with what Emmanuel is saying. Let's see if it will come on it. Is it gonna? No, it's not gonna. Is that Article 74, right?
Yeah, in all matters.
In all matters of contempt of courts, whether in the Supreme Court or in other courts, the penalties to be imposed shall be fixed by the legislature and shall conform to the provision on fundamental rights laid down in this Constitution.
That's the Liberian Constitution.
So what does that mean?
What does that? Yeah, what does that mean?
I still need to go business to interpret this. I still don't understand what that means.
Okay.
Exactly.
Any-
So who
anything that have to do
so who
with
interpret that law? And the court will interpret it. They're not you myself.
Mr. Kasama, you spoke, you did not provide any
The
backing.
Constitution gave the court the power to interpret the law. What are you saying here?
What I'm saying, I want you to understand now.
What are you saying?
You are not provided anything to back what you said. I am giving you what is backing what I said.
I just told you the Constitution gave the
Okay,
power
hold
to
on
the
now.
court, to the judges to
Hold on.
interpret.
Where is the name?
Mr. Customer, you were here when when our very court said we cannot interpret what is not the law. When the legislature invited them, they said we cannot interpret what is not the law.
And what I
So
mean?
the Constitution says
Mhm.
you must create a law on how we can compare your friends to come. Saying you did not create
That
that
got
law.
something to do with the
Come here.
legislature.
But what
Like,
what about saying?
Hold on. You said they can interpret. Oh Jesus! Just listen to me.
Yeah, call Jesus' name.
The Supreme Court says we cannot
Mhm.
interpret what is not the law.
mhm.
The law says you must create a way on how we can invite people. We can compare people to come. You don't create it. Now, Article 33. Article 34 says if there is a contempt charges against you by the court, the penalty, that law that can say when it's somebody to punish the person by 2 years, by 3 years, that particular penalty, it should be affixed by the law, by the article lawmakers. So since the lawmakers did not provide that particular part, you cannot interpret it.
No,
Not read what you just said.
no.
Let me
It's
ask a question.
important.
Marswell. So, all of Liberian existence, 178 years, there has been nowhere that the court held anyone in contempt because there is no law there for it.
The court can hold you in contempt. Listen now. This is how the court can hold you in contempt. If you went to the court and the court says, Emmanuel, as of today, don't go to Amy house.
Mhm.
If I break the court law, the court has a contempt charge that they will charge me without what the Constitution is asking for. Now, if I did not disrupt the court, if I did not disobey the court's law, like in the case of Prophet Key, that kind of contempt, there must be a penalty prescribed by the Constitution.
I see your misunderstanding of that thing you're talking.
If you went to the court,
Marswell,
if you went to the court and disrupt the court,
mhm.
if you went to the court and insult the judge while in the court, not outside the court, because there are two types of contempt. They got the two types of contempt. The one that can happen in the court, and one that can happen outside the court.
Mhm.
The one that happen outside the court, the definition of it has to come from the legislature. And the reason that is because now the court alone got contempt charges, got contempt authorities. the legislature can also hold you in contempt. And the reason the legislature can't just exercise contempt like that, like the way they code day to day, is that if you insult Yeka Koruba, he can hold you in contempt because he got contempt power. You understand? So to avoid that kind of vagueness, it restricted it. That when it happen like this, it should go like this. When it happen like this, it should go like this. Here the article generally said all contempt charges, the penalties to be imposed, shall. The Constitution says shall. It did not say may. So it's not not suggesting to you. It is imposing on you that you must allow the legislature to create that particular penalties shall be imposed. The penalties shall be affixed by the legislature.
Okay, so when you read earlier, right, about the courts were telling the legislature that you have not done what? Say that again.
You have not created any law on how to compel people to come.
Okay, so in other words, the court were referring to the situation in the house. It wasn't referring to anybody else outside of that circle.
Yes,
they were referring to them on your colleagues, right?
Yes.
So how do we equip that to ordinary people?
The way we equip that to it is that the Constitution says you must create a law to complement this article. Now, your Article 33, I posted it, so you look at it, so you understand what I'm talking about. Article 33 says, simple majority of each house shall constitute a quorum for the transaction of business. But a lower number, that is when in minority, may adjourn from day to day and compel the attendance of the absent members. The legislature went to the Supreme Court and said, please compel our friends to come. The Supreme Court said you did not create a law on how we can compel people. So we can interpret it, so we can compare your friends to come. And the legislature, and the Supreme Court was right because there's
that have to do with them, with their stuff they have going on.
So because you have to do it, the Supreme Court can interpret it.
But listen, so do you also have that law that says that when someone is insulting you and they insult you to go down to your mother ain't got you ain't got nothing to do with that at your mother, so the client sue and anything like that. Do we also have that in the Constitution so we can read it?
No. For me, I don't support it.
It's not about you supporting it. She asked me whether there's a law to that.
No, but I did not say that. It's not for me.
Not you, Emmanuel, because we have some legal mind in here that said that that's what the law says, that you were being insulted to him. That insult was for him. That's why his mother was bringing it to get so it can affect him.
No, what they are saying?
We hearing that saying that the person was insulting him and I had his mother to it. At this point, it's not his business anymore. Like his mom's hold to run and can't go.
No, what I think what
I want to see the part what the law says there.
I think what they are saying is that the person who is injured. So injury, you can't determine.
Injured, this man is not injured when he's insulting his mother.
That's what I'm saying. You can't say the man is not injured. Let me tell you, the judge is the chief justice is injured. The chief justice is injured.
It's 2 o'clock.
The chief justice is injured because you insulted his mother. I'm not saying what Lucky Day is right. The point I'm saying is the procedure, the way it went, the way it happened. The very first thing the chief justice would be on our bench because that his mother was insulted. He didn't want to carry the complaint, so he's not supposed to be part of the case. Their own law said that. Title 17, it said if you have connection with the case, you must recuse yourself.
You can be biased. Yeah, I get that part.
You must recuse yourself, but you are on the case. He is the one who is injured. He's the one who said the man insulted my mother. So the injury is on him. You don't have to wait for your mother to carry the case. In fact, you call him. In fact, the very first thing, if you are not in that house, they are not going to insult his mother. So it's him.
You know what he's not saying because they say you corrupt. So some people for to hear that his mother was injured. You know what?
Me, I didn't see it.
It really blinding people to the point that it makes them to expose themselves, and it's disgusting.
The second thing, Amy, on the issue of Bushman Keita, I want people to understand this. Bushman Keita was not wrong.
Okay.
Anything that has to do with criminal, when they say somebody commit crime, it is the government that is responsible to prosecute crime.
To define whether it's criminal or not.
No, a criminal crime anything that is a criminal case is the government that's supposed to judge that person. It's not you. So if, like, for instance, if I commit a crime against you, Amy, it's not you who will judge me. It is the government that will judge me. So in the
But
case
she
of,
wasn't judging, she's talking to court.
hey, listen, I mean, I'm coming to the point. So when she's talking to court as a criminal case, it becomes the government case. It was the Solicitor General now who was supposed to take the case and prosecute or Prophet Key. But the law says when somebody calls, it's not crime. It's not a criminal crime. It's a civil crime. So
So
when
what
you
Lord
come,
I told you that?
I'm confused here now. You're making my
oh
head
God,
hurt.
Amy, if
Don't
Esau,
listen to Emmanuel. Emmanuel proceeding very, very accurately.
No, I'm just
Don't
confused.
listen to him.
Go ahead.
Because
if
I
you insult somebody, Amy,
listen to
if you insult somebody, you
yeah.
commit a crime. But that crime is a civil crime. It's not a criminal crime. When you commit a criminal offense, not a civil offense, when you commit a criminal offense, that the government is supposed to judge you. When Judy Andy takes somebody to court on a criminal offense, Judy Andy will not be there, but she will not be the one who will prosecute the person. It will be the government of Liberia through the Justice Minister and the Solicitor General. The very first thing when she secured that case, the county attorney of Mosurado arrested, ordered the arrest of Prophet Key. So Benjamin Keita said you can't arrest the man because the man did not commit a criminal offense. He committed a civil offense. So let us sue the man on civil offense, but not on criminal offense. You can't commit the government to that. So free the man. That was and you are very right. The Benjamin Keita was very right for saying that.
So now we just heard a man who says that the people that want to decriminalize freedom of speech or whatever. We just heard him say that they never added that part to it.
He said
So it is a criminal offense.
No, he said a draft. He said a draft. That is, he introduced it, but he did not pass it. When he wrote a draft, he did not include that one. But when they want to pass, have you seen it? They want to pass, it repeal everything. So any speech is not a crime.
Emmanuel, stop. Emmanuel, stop, man. Stop it.
Councillor Gonglo does
Yeah,
not
stop,
know.
man.
Go there. Play again.
Gonglo don't know that everything passed.
Play again.
He doesn't know that.
Let me just play again. No argument. Just play. Listen to what he said.
Well, all right.
He said a draft. He said original draft. I did it. What he said.
But I still don't want to believe that even if he gave the draft and they included everything else in there that he doesn't know about it. That's the point I'm trying to do something. But let's play it again.
For a few days after the Supreme Court cited Prophet Key for contempt, I got a lot of calls from Liberians in Liberia and abroad. And it was simple, simply because I represented a lot of media institutions and I announced before publicly that I would dedicate my professional life to the defense of the press. I am the same person who drafted the original draft of the law that is today called the Kamara law that repealed all the anti-speech laws. But I did not include the law that punishes abusive language, disorderly conduct, 17.3 of the penal law. I live by the law. The law is the law.
You hear that?
He was speaking to the draft.
Yeah,
So,
but
Emmanuel,
Emmanuel.
okay, yeah.
Why was this man? What was that? Oh, what is it? What a video? Sorry, man. I tried to take the video down. Why would he put a draft forward and then they go and say, "Oh no, we don't like the way you're going." Everything there, and he doesn't know about it. That's
No. He did not include it.
Right. But if it was
said did
passed,
not
they
include
included to Ray.
No, the final
Why
draft.
would he know about it?
Well, because number one, I don't think
there can be original draft and there can be final draft.
I get it. You're not getting my question, If Councillor Gonglo drafted a bill or something that is passed, I'm pretty sure he will read to see what all in there, something to see what everything, something. You don't need to sit here and tell me that law passed and they say, oh no, we don't like the one who put in the profanity in there too to pass it, and Congo does not know anything that even though he never included it, but it passes and he doesn't know about it. I don't want to believe that.
You are no longer in the government. You are no
He's
longer in the
still the
government.
counselor.
No, but he's not the one
Amy,
passing it.
he was not active with anything of that point.
When he introduced it,
This man is a counselor. He still reads the law. He still knows what he talking about defending freedom of this, freedom of that, right? He got to know what everything in there says. I don't care whether he was there, when it passes
Amy,
or not.
Amy, you heard what he said, right? Heard what he said, right?
I heard what he said.
He put it there, but he did not criminalize it.
No, he didn't put it there. He said he never included that part
There
of
you
it.
go. Play again.
No, play again. The thing here that I want to put to
He
understand.
never put it
He
there.
introduced
We
it.
need to play it because that thing here getting too.
Amy, wait, don't play here. Amy, don't play here.
No, let him play the thing. Play.
Emmanuel, she's not playing the entirety. She
can play the whole thing, sir. It's okay.
No, that's too much.
Yeah, right there.
It's not long.
Repeal all the anti-speech laws. But I did not include a law that punishes abusive language, disorderly conduct, 17.3 of the penal law.
Not too.
I live by the law. The law is the law. I told the people who called me that Prophet Key had crossed the line.
Right.
His speech was criminal. Because abusive language under our law is a crime.
Okay.
Period. So you mean to tell me this man don't know anything? He say, "Oh, it's criminal." He doesn't know what's in the law, and he just come in. Listen, that say it's criminal, and you're going to sit here and tell me that he doesn't know.
He said it's criminal, but he did not advance that part though. He did not advance that portion. He drafted it. He literally just gave you the code. He drafted it, but he did not push it.
Yeah, but to the mate.
No, I'm not confusing you. The Camara law, right? The Camara law, he drafted that, right? Right? So, but the one that criminalized now or abusive language, that part he did not submit that. It's almost like you drafted something, but he did not submit it for final consideration. But he drafted it, but he did not submit it.
Let me try this.
No, that's not it.
You drafted something. What you're telling me is that you drafted something, right? And you took it to the house or whatever courts, whatever it needed to be taken, right? And then they took it, they read it, and then they said, "Oh no, everything here, we don't agree with it. When you left out, we're going to take it and put it in there." And you don't know about it.
Yeah.
That is put in there to pass for it to pass. That's what you're telling me. That the counselor, even though he didn't put it there, they went and grab it and put it there and said, "We got to add it one there." And the counselor, and it will pass, and the counselor doesn't know about it.
But Amy,
was that he never included that. That means it still is a crime. It still is criminal.
Exactly.
It just because it was not something he never pushed it or whatever. He was not there when it was passed, so he doesn't know that they added it in there.
But Amy, the thing's simple, right? And we listen to the counselor, and we all say we listen to the counselor, we agree with the counselor. Yeah, the counselor said that portion he did not include it in the bill, and because he realized he know that it is a crime, it is an offense, so he did not include it there. So what's the argument there?
So exactly. So the fact he did not include it, we're not. He says it's a good thing, right? But he drafted it, but he did not include it because that's the thing. When lawyer draft these, especially at that time, he was the Solicitor General, right?
Why you think they not include it?
Madam Salif.
Why you think they not include it?
Because number one, it was not an issue at that time. It was not a prevailing issue at that time.
You say what?
Right? It was not an issue at that time.
What are you talking about, Ture?
Nobody was causing somebody mind about that.
Who told you that?
Man, look, let me tell you.
I mean, I
At the
beg you,
end of the
man.
day,
See,
when
you
you
see,
hadn't
it's
dropped,
it's
wait now,
such
let
man,
me
Eddie for head
now.
to
Low,
toe.
low rap, low
Wait,
rap,
okay,
low
let me
wrap
lay.
up, man. Yo, wrap up.
They do not gonna. We're not gonna circumvent anything that the man already said. If you guys want, I can call Gonglo on the show. He can appear on the show and
Call him,
clarify
call
his
him,
thought.
Make it
call.
happen.
Like,
But are you trying to circumvent? The man is telling you
no,
that.
no.
Don't-
The thing is,
There you
when
go.
the man drafted this thing, when the man drafted it, he drafted it right. He said at that time,
Amy,
at that
you
time,
can see my screen?
when he submitted it, Morris, right? He did not let's say he did not submit
We
it.
can see that in there, Amy. That
You
in
see
there,
my
nobody.
screen?
We can see it.
Hold on.
So enlarging it at all.
It's not showing. Let me see.
Enlarge now?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, well, we can see the beginning and
I don't
then
even know what it started.
what's
Okay, let me show you the entire thing. Right
Man,
here.
you know what? Me, I'm not a lawyer. I did not
Man,
go to law
Lord,
school, so
man,
No,
Lord, rap.
we don't need to
Lord,
go through
yeah,
all of
Lord,
this.
Lord,
though.
Lord, do our closing, man.
Let
Amy,
me say something in
Yeah, Lord, do our
Emmanuel and
closing.
Ture. Let me just say something in Emmanuel and Ture. We can do our closing.
Yeah.
Ture, your political leader never said, I never drafted, so I didn't know whether it passed or not. I didn't know whether it was included or not. The man said it, blatantly said that it was never included. So profanity still is a crime. That means
yes.
he drafted it. Whatever you draft, you carry there. That's what they are going to deliberate on to pass or not. They're not going behind you to go add the other one in that you didn't put it. No, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it makes sense, Amy.
Even if there was something, they would talk to him to put that in there because that's his draft. That's his bill. That he's something. It's not. They're not go behind him and put it there without him knowing about it. And he's so thinking he said, "Oh, something is a crime when it's not." Does that make sense to anybody? He drafted this thing. If they wanted him to add that on it, they would tell him to add it in there. Not somebody, nobody else gonna do that and put that signature on it. That is his work.
Okay.
Now,
So basically, I can write like, let's say I'm trying to write, I'm doing a research on something, right? Okay. For my final dissertation, whatever. I have one rough draft on the other hand, I have another one, so I have choices, right? I can submit one, right, for consideration, right? And I can say, look, I have both prepared, but I just submitted this one for consideration. So basically, my understanding is this, right? He knew that it is a violation, right? Right? As a lawyer and as a counselor, right? But the Kamara one that we all know now came about, right? That passed, it went through, right? Decriminalizing free speech.
Free speech, not
right?
profanity.
Okay, not profanity. But he not telling us that he also drafted that, but he did not submit it for consideration.
No, he didn't.
That's what he's trying to say.
That's not what he said. No, he said he drafted a bill, the Kamara law. He never included the part that said profanity. He never said he drafted it, but he never submitted it. That's all related to it. The man just said it to you right there.
So we can say two laws, right? Right?
What two laws? No, it's not two laws. Profanity is not freedom of speech. That's
exactly.
what he didn't in there.
Freedom of speech, right? Freedom of speech. I can come here and say, I say something like absolutely like that have nothing to do with, because when you start to call somebody manners, that is a crime.
That's not freedom of speech.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not freedom of speech, right? Causing somebody man, causing somebody pa, that is not freedom of speech. That is almost like like a crime now in that case, right?
Right.
Now, he says a crime on a book. Something can be a crime, but it has not been actively used. Do you know that?
Oh, well, it happens like bro all the time. That's not the
No,
argument
I'm
we're
just
making
telling you
here.
something. Something can be a crime, but it has not been used. Do you know that there are a lot of crimes on
A
our books?
lot of things on the boy like bro not being used.
But exactly so.
That's not an argument
So
we're
now
having
he's
here,
telling
though.
us. He's telling us that it is a crime, but the fact that it has not been actively used, right? Like the way the Camera A, Camera 1 was introduced and then signed to law and all of that stuff, right? But causing my cause and pa cause and all that thing, that was not active. But even though it's on the book, but it's just not being active.
No,
You know what I mean? Like,
no,
I'm not a lawyer, man. I'm not,
no.
no, let me do my piece. I get out
You're
of here.
making it think we all not lawyer,
Yeah,
but
nobody here a lawyer. Let close, man. Let me.
is clearly
No, but Emmanuel,
Mm.
understands a little bit.
Emmanuel, no lawyer.
Let me do my
I say the man
closing.
a lawyer, but I say the man understand a little bit.
Let me do my closing.
Yeah, we're closing now.
Look,
George, you can be coming on when you want to. You want to stay. What is that? You still in the car?
let me do my closing so I can leave. So
Go ahead.
yeah.
Sorry, Maurice.
So
I
the
agree with
first.
I agree with Amy, and I disagree with Toure and how they call my man here. Amy was right, even though the clarity she was trying to make did not completely match, but she's right. He wrote a law, and when the man said he decriminalized, why he said that he did not put what he decriminalized, he did not put that particular profanity inside. So whatever he decriminalized, was decriminalized. But why he did not put there, it was not decriminalized. So coffee is still criminalized, yes. So she's right. But go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, just to pick it back on what George said, this is just simple. Councillor Gonglo has always known that the causing Marcos is a crime, is an offense. So he know that. He didn't say, oh, at that time, it was not necessary, it was not no. He don't make law like that. The man know that causing from day one, causing Marcos has been offense. He know that. So that the reason why he did not include, I think I just said a few days ago when I know Mario on the show, I said it. I said the whole Amara K, Kamara something. Yes. I said the whole thing was just made for mainly for the media. Because the media.
This guy will get value. That camera we kidding today. That camera K camera did.
Yeah, Abdullah Kamara.
No, Abdullah K Kamara.
Abdullah K Kamara, yeah, Abdullah K Kamara. Because Abdullah Kamara, right?
Abdullah A Kamara.
Yeah. So yeah, because the media felt that it was being sanctioned, their voices are being sanctioned. So they came up with that whole Kamara A because he was the PUF boss. He was the PUF president at the time. So they came up with that whole thing. So the councillor knew that, look, you cannot make a blank law. The law is not blank. To say, oh, just freedom of speech, blank check. No. He may know that there must be restriction to it. That's why he did not include that portion that say, just go about, say anything you want to say, call somebody ma, call somebody pa, not freedom. No. He know that, so that way he did not include. And he just said it. Right? And just to close on, right? Look, every section, even this organization, even this platform, we can decide to create our own laws. That law, when we go to anything happen, when we go to Supreme Court will judge us by that law that governing us on the platform. That's how it works. The legislature got their own law. When anything happen, when they go to court, when they go to Supreme Court will judge them based on that law they got. Because Supreme Court will be the one to interpret the law. I will say this again. Every time the judge passes a law, they have a verdict. The judge or the court have that power to decide your fate. Even in America, they say the judge can decide your fate. When you go stand in front of the judge, that judge can decide your fate. That judge can say you're free. That judge can say, I'm sorry for you. Instead of going for 10 years, I give you 2 years. The judge has that power. Nobody needs to give that power to the judge. The court, the Constitution gave the power to the court to decide punishment when you commit crime. So you can't come in and tell me that, oh, the legislature did not describe the punishment. Yeah, that portion is there, but at the same time, the court has to interpret The court will be there to interpret. That there are error there. Even the legislation own law they can make, they cannot interpret their own law.
Thank you.
The court has to interpret, the Supreme Court has to interpret the law. So again, causing my cause is an offense. It will cause emotional injuries. People will get offended and this and that. You cause my ma, I can take you to court. You cause my son, I can take you to court. You kill my ma.
Emotional damage.
Exactly. We have law, we have family value laws in the country that protect your family. You gotta protect your family. You got a right.
Thank you,
I see
Murray.
yo. Oh, I must stay.
Yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I got some,
Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Okay, thank you, ma.
Go ahead.
If you look at the Camara A Camara law, it says we are introducing it to change certain laws in Liberia. One of the laws they intend to change is the Penal Law of 1978, Chapter 7, Section 11. And in what we're trying to put original for local. Chapter 7, verse Article 7.14 says, 11.14 says, if you say anything bad against any official, it's a crime. Whether against the president, against the lawmaker, against any judge, it's a crime. The new law that will pass under the Weah government says that particular part is not in the law anymore. If you call somebody, it's not a crime, it's an offense. It's not criminal. So they can't judge you criminally.
You want to have the debate with Councilor Gonglo?
I understand what Congolo said. He must not arguing. You don't want to understand what he said. He said when I made it law,
it's criminal.
But that's not the law. Why he wrote down what the Pope passed as law?
He said
Why
it's
he
a
wrote
crime.
down?
So how do you not? And you say it's not a crime. So how you not arguing with him?
Oh God, Amy.
He said
I can put it out
crime.
here. You say you can hear it.
He
That's
said
what he
it's a crime,
said.
but it's not on the book.
That's
I
not
think
what he said.
they're where we are.
No, he did not say it's a crime, but it's not on the book. That's not what he
It's
said.
not on the book.
Okay, hold
That's
on.
the thing.
Ray, hold on. Amy, do you have that Camara A Camara law? Do you have
I
it?
don't have it, but the person who jacked the thing up telling me they actually say, oh, the people that who done the lawyer who didn't write it telling me.
Did he pass any law? Did he tell you he passed any? Did he tell you that he passed any law?
He said he drafted the law.
So it means he didn't pass.
And even if
It's a
he didn't
draft.
pass it, he's the counselor. He would know whether it passed or not. He would
Okay,
know
so
whether
let me
it's
ask
in
you.
it or not.
Let me ask you a question. If Judge Weah signed the contract to build the overpass bridge and he didn't build it, and Joseph Boga kind of build it, are you going to give the credit to Judge Weah?
What is that? It's saying something.
It is the same thing. What I'm trying to tell you.
No, it's not. Let me answer your question. No, it's not. And plus, Joseph Boga is a president. Judge Weah is a president, right? We're talking about the lawyer.
Yes.
Whether Joseph Boga is still a president or not, or whether Judge Weah is still a president or not, what they do in our office, what Joseph Boga do in our office right now, Judge Weah have no way of knowing it.
Very good. That's the point I want you to get.
And Chancellor Bongo is a lawyer. He practiced the law.
No, that's the point I want you to get. No,
if
listen.
let me finish. Let me elaborate. He knows
Okay.
he's a lawyer. He knows that when he's something to represent people, like he said, he's something free speech and something all over one there, he would know. And by he being the one to something the draft of that law, he will know whether it passed or not and what's in it. It's not the same as president, past president, and ex-president. So that two different things you're trying to equip with each other here.
Okay.
My opinion.
Okay, thank you for your opinion. When Prince-Sidor Gonglo drafted the law, he was the Justice Minister of Liberia. He left the document in the office. When the new ministry came, the new Justice Minister took that law and presented it to the president. The president looked at it and said, let's put it one there, let's put it one there, let's put it one there, before it was passed.
Is that what happened?
Yes, that's what happened. That's why the copies are there. Just
So
go
do
home
you
and
have
read
the
it.
copy that
I
says
have it
that
with me.
profanity is not an offense? I mean, it's not
Yes.
a
No,
crime.
not profanity. Profanity is not offense, but it's not a crime. It's of
Okay,
offense.
do you have something that says no offense, but it's not a crime? Do you have
Yes.
that law so we can read it?
I haven't read it. I just share it. You say you couldn't see it. How you took it from the book? I was sharing it with you. I got
No,
it
no,
ready. I
no,
can
no,
share it
no.
with
That's
you.
how we send it to the same way how you send it and I send it and put it there.
Hold on. Let me see. I don't know how I'm going to share this with you, but just hold on. Let me get it.
But Annabelle, let George come in. We gotta go.
Yeah, Zaza,
Go
man,
ahead.
don't get too worked out. Don't get too worked out. It's okay. So look, let me just conclude. You know, after this ruling, all the conversation I've been hearing made me to realize that Buju Ben Keita was dead wrong
Mm-hmm.
by what he said to that lady. So Amy, I'm on your side here. Yeah, he was dead wrong because according to our
Somebody calling him.
Amy, I just put the two laws there. The original law of 1978 and the revised law of 2019. I put two of them there.
Child, I ain't got time to be reading all of that.
1978, in 1978, said chapter
Well-
11.4, it said, if you say bad thing against any judge, any president, any government official, any representative, that crime.
That's two different things.
In 2018, they said that thing is no longer a crime in our country because the law that was passed and signed by Ellen Sally Johnson by the international community, what they call the Table Mountain Law, they say don't hold anybody criminally liable for what they say, but you can hold them.
Criticism. Criticism.
Even
Criticism was what a crime back then.
Amy,
you can't criticize and you can't do this, you can't do that. But they were decriminalizing criticism that wishes the freedom of speech, but not insulting. That wasn't part of it to be freedom of speech. Insult is not a freedom of speech. and that's what the counselor, and I believe Councilor Gongo that because he's a counselor, he would know if it's something that anybody is telling me that it's not. No, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna. But go ahead, Terrell. Let's have it close in and get out of here.
Yeah, because
Oh,
it's too.
Okay, no problem. It's okay.
All right, end up. Let's review you. End up.
No, I've ended. I just said it that the article insult is an offense. It's a civil offense. It's not a criminal offense. So you can, if you insult anybody, they can take you to court civilly, but they can't charge you criminally. And that's why Judy Andy lost that case because she sued criminally. If she has sued civilly,
exactly. So I don't know where George coming from with that, because
that's what I'm saying.
If we should follow that same merit, so if we should follow that same logic, then we know very well she sued in a wrong jurisdiction.
Right? Yeah, that's why she missed. That's why she lost the case.
Yeah, she did.
What logic? Emmanuel's logic?
It was a civil matter, not a criminal matter.
Okay, so if you're saying that, if we follow Emmanuel's logic,
if we follow Keon Gonglo assertion, where insult is a criminal offense, then Judy Annie, right? Then
Judy Annie was right.
Then Judy Annie was actually right.
Buju Ben Keita was wrong.
No, you was not wrong because you were quoting the 1929.
Hey, brother, I'm listening to the counselor.
There are two laws.
1978. What?
1978 say it's a crime when you insult.
1919
say it's not crime. It's an offense.
That law was not included.
Look, you see, right? I'll reading it. The 1978 and the 2019 one. You know what I mean? So look, at the end of the day, right? Like I said, that's what I saw when I'm beginning law school. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's shit's crazy. But yeah, guys, it was a great show. At the end of the day, like I always say, for Liberia to progress, our generation, you, myself, Emmanuel Morris, right? We at the at the epic center of
Mhm.
what should be the next Liberia. Because I always say this, we the 80 babies, like, 84, you know what I mean, May 80s and stuff like that, we enjoy part of the cultural experience. But all the 1990 baby then and the 2000 stuff, some of them don't have absolute no cultural orientation. So we experienced a little bit of it, and the children did not. So we got that right connection with our culture through our parents prior to the war. Then the other children that we have in America and someone on the refugee camp and stuff like that, they did not have any of the experiences. So we can bridge that gap. So we need to start doing things right. So when I see young people, especially why we see happening in Liberia, is the fact that everybody wants to be right. Everybody want to have a position. Everybody want to have the last say. Everybody want to be right. But nobody want to take the time to actually be factual, right? Everybody want to be advocate. Everybody want to have the last word.
Amy.
Yeah.
Amy, please play Bishop and Keita statement. The video right there, just put the last one.
So if we should really enjoy the next chapter of the Liberia that we all want to see, we need to really start looking at facts, void of our own personal biases. Let's look at facts, void of our own political opinions and political positions. And let us not try to politicize everything. Everything that not politics. Just look at the morality of these things. Just look at the moral quadrant of some of these things. If we do that, then we'll have a country. But if we just try to look at everything from the lens of politics, we're not going to have anything. That's what I have to say. Good night. Thank you.
So,
yeah,
absolutely. We should.
Then on the show, you forgot to tell our sister happy Valentine. Maybe for you, and the Amy happy Valentine. Yes, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't have a Valentine, so that means that Terrell said it. When Terrell was my first Valentine, you can.
I'll always be a Valentine.
But Terrell say yesterday, you were not on the 14th, so he wrong.
Oh, actually, no, my son is my Valentine. Yo, my son got hurt yesterday on the That's why I didn't even think about coming on the electric scooter.
Hey man, he fell.
This little boy, he always leave his bike, and in the back, all of them, the kids in the neighborhood, is in the little credit circle, they go and play in the park, and they all have their bikes and stuff in the neighborhood, right? And this other little boy got an electric scooter for Christmas last year, and they all sticks on that thing like fly on boo boo. When you see them in something like, and he's speeding with it and going. I don't know what happened yesterday. He came from school when he took me at work. He snuck and went in the back door riding it. I don't know if the kid was running or whatever. He fell off that thing. He cut right here. I don't know if he's ever gonna grow eyebrow again. The whole place opened up. He all highlighted his knee, his hands, everything was. I was in the emergency last night till up to 3. Yeah, he was hurt pretty bad. So that's my first Valentine, my little man. Yeah, he was really hurt, and well, after he did it, you know how you tell him not to do something, but then he get hurt. That I'm the first person he calls, right? Something like, you pick me up. I'm like, where are you? So, but yeah, that's my first Valentine, and then Teray, and then you, and then who else want to be my Valentine? But anyways, thank you guys. All in all, from what we see here is that precedent was set. That's how I look at it. I'm happy. Okay, Sometimes, like we all say in Liberia, things are done. Some things are done. It's not the book is not being used. We have all of the good laws in the book and stuff like that. The fact to this, that it's a precedent that has been set, and we always talk about this is crazy. This is what our country have come to. You can sit on Facebook and do content, and for those people who think that because Prophet Key supported Unity Party or supported the Rescue Mission, and because we support Rescue Mission, that means we support Prophet Key. Shame on to you. Okay, we are not like you who just anything CDC is almighty. That you don't say anything about it, and when that person is not on CDC side, they become a problem. No, if I don't have anything to do with my money, they got plenty people who looking for things to do, looking for a low handout in Liberia. I'd rather send it to them and support Prophet Key. What am I looking for? For what? I don't subscribe to any of his ideology or whatever methodology of running campaign or whatever. I don't subscribe to any of it. Okay, and he doesn't even the thing about it. They say all the people that who in the United Party because some of us support the Rescue Mission, so they always call United Party now. Granted, that human being in United Party, but if the people who in United Party were paying Prophet Key to insult, how come he has no limit? Were they paying him to insult their leaders too? To insult every one of them too? Mara, does that make any sense? I mean, the politics to these guys, like, even if it's not making sense to them, as long as they just want to politicize everything, it's okay for them, right? It doesn't add up. Vasco will come here with a blanket still. All of y'all. You ask that dude. If he knew me 2022, he would not tell you, say, yeah, I knew you.
But Joe, we said go very say when anybody calls they will not walk on the street.
After making Kamara law, right?
Yeah, the man said go very say if anybody calls you, they will not walk on the street because causing can hurt.
It's so
don't mind people.
That people don't know when, like Teresa said, when to play politics and when to let things go to say something. Oh, it happened as long as say somebody just to judge Ria, everybody must die. Everybody must get something because the king have tested something. No, that's not how it works. Judge Ria is not a king. He's a human being like everybody else. Nobody support that.
But you know that Joe,
Joe,
we are the first person that even talk about Prophet Key. This Joe, he was the first person
to the end of something, right? There has to be a beginning to the end of something. Prophet Key was not in like bro, he was doing all of those insults.
Nobody even know about him. I said that Joe, we have made people don't know about him.
Okay, so it's something, and George and they who's sitting here now talking about people not something. They're the one, that woman who can be their grandmother, insulting her back and forth because they wanted to come to state power, and then putting cast it with panties, with ketchup and all of that. Who does that to somebody who can be your grandmother? That one not looking like he's high every day. Well, always something. He was a champion to that, and all of a sudden today they got the audacity to talk about this and that. These are the kind of people we have in the country. Nobody cares about Liberia anymore. It's not about our own personal gain. They were kind of politicize it and think that would make them to gain some sort of votes. And it's disgusting. Okay, if I support Prophet Key, nobody pay my bills. I would sit down here and say, hey, but God forbid would I ever do something like that. All right, so at least something got to start from somewhere. Prophet Key, let's see the so-called lawmaker that's supposed to be making the law. If he would come down and break a law and nothing is done to him, then we will see that. Then he come back from Ghana or wherever he at and come back. All that he can be making and come back and do it. And let's see what happens. That's all we can say. And I think this should be something good because, like I said, little kids in Liberia, Emmanuel, I was talking to people in Liberia, they say even the low children, they're doing something when you try to talk to them, they can start insulting you. My uncles and something. What do you think they're getting those things from? Yeah? Watching people in like that and watching the so-called lawmaker then. Something has to start from somewhere. Maybe when it was happening during this time, it wasn't as bad as it is now. If it getting they were being a little lenient with it. But if it's getting out of control now, they have to put a stop to it somewhere. That's what I'm saying. Okay? So thank God, even the Zoe or the traditional people in Nima country are all rejecting him. When he come from South Beach, he went to the Zoe bush. You know, let him face every penalty there is, and then let somebody else come out and say they would do the opposite. They would do something. And good thing he apologized though, right? He's supposed to, like Therese said, they were supposed to hurt him in the pocket. I don't think Jill something is something like, but I don't agree with it. $5,000. That's what they were supposed to say, and making those right sign of promissory notes that he's never ever going to do that again. If he does, it was going to be higher than that, and he will face like up to 5 years in jail time. That's what they're supposed to make him to do instead of sending him to jail. But still, this will still be a lesson to him. I don't think he's going to spend all 6 months in there, but it's a precedent that had been set, and I think all Liberians should be something. But the female then that can be calling, I say Americans then are sitting on Facebook. When they hear, they can do that American stuff then. But if they take that butt in Africa and do that, they should also grab them and jail them too. They should do that. Enough is enough, and I think I don't care who is something for people to say, oh, that your mom, now you with that argument, and I don't even make any sense. They come in and making it. Somebody insulting me, and then put my mom in there. I said, okay, mama, let me see. I send it. I'm for me now that my mom is going to. Are you out of your mind? But anyway, thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, it's in the money now. We gotta go. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us. Anyway, we come late. We leave late. That's the struggle. We'll see you tomorrow, God's willing.
Thank you so
Oh, man,
much.
let me go play this in here. Let me
Yeah,
play
just play
Rocco's
the last
Secret,
one.
then
Then
we
yeah,
can go. Hold on
I
one
beg you,
second.
man.
Let me play it 1 second, then we'll go.
I mean, today making voice skin. I just question your output that I having.
We're going to play that right
You're
now.
muted. So that
What you
you
want to play?
Tired, bro. It's 2 a.m.
Yeah, what you want to play?
It's
You play that
2:30
thing.
now.
We'll talk about it.
Eastern time.
no,
Okay.
no,
Well,
don't think I just want to hear what
So,
you say.
but
I
we
mean,
heard what the man said. I don't know, but
would you be a lawyer? The man was pleading somebody's case. What you expect him to say? Me.
The city solicitor in the Moreover City Court filed a case on behalf of the government of Liberia against Prophet
Would you be and Supreme Court?
Kimberly
So whatever he
because
said, he's saying it as a
he
lawyer.
is
You're not
on
Supreme Court.
podcast that Tilly and he felt were insulting to her.
Felt?
It's in the environment on the arrest. So they charged him criminally for speech that he made. The part that I play in it was I called the city solicitor and I asked him, is it true that you have arrested Prophet King on behalf of the government of Liberia and charged him criminally? He said yes. I said, on what basis? He said, on the basis of a complaint filed by this lady who said that she was criminally insulted in his podcast. And I asked, are you aware of the Table Mountain Declaration that Liberia signed, where Liberia decriminalizes the criminalized speech? And are you also aware of the 2019 Camara Act, where we repeal all the penal code sections that has to do with criminal speech? He said, well, I aware of that, counselor, but show it to me. I said, okay, go and look at it. And if you see that speech of the kind that Prophet Key made has been decriminalized, that people cannot be arrested for it, then your best course of action is.
So that was it.
That's
That was it. I mean, he
Insult
has
is not crime.
I'm just saying the same thing that you've been that
Insult is not crime. It's an offense that the Pope was saying.
I mean, the man a lawyer. The man pleading somebody's case. What you expect the man to say? Somebody can challenge that thing that man saying. What are you making the thing look like?
You take it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court be the last
Exactly
of the law.
Okay,
The Supreme Court said it's a crime. What can you say?
The man a lawyer. The man pleading somebody's case. What you expect the man to say?
You don't have a human rights something, so you
No
can
problem. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, good night.
Yeah, thank you, mom. Thank you, boss man.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah.
Have a
Mr.
great night.
Basama.
Happy Valentine's to y'all.
Mr.
What
Kasala.
what you say? Why you calling my name? Why you calling my name like that? What you say?
I mean, I come here, you, I can